But we want to welcome you to our rally, our unity rally, for a united black front, to unite all factions of our people, to unite every one of the 20 million so-called Negroes into one group. And you'll notice, whenever the white man thinks that we're going to call a rally to knock our own kind, you see him jammed out here. He wants to hear us say something against King or against Bunch or against Farmer, against someone of our own kind. He jams out here. But when you call a rally for black people to unite, let's get together, you don't see too many white folks then. They don't like black people to get together in unity and harmony. As long as you and I are going to attack each other or talk about each other or heap scorn and ridicule upon each other, the white man gets his kick. But when he knows that we're going to come together in unity and harmony, he won't get his kick, he will get kicked. When you see you and I getting together, it is because we have begun to realize that we have a common enemy. And the only time we'll be able to come together with a common objective and a common goal is when we first develop a common motive. And that motive is best developed by recognizing the common enemy. And that common enemy is the white man. I say that common enemy is the white man. The white man is your enemy, whether you are a Baptist, whether you're a Methodist, whether you're an Episcopalian, or whether you're a Muslim, or whether you're a Mason, or whether you're an elk. If you find yourself running into opposition when you're looking for freedom, justice, and equality, or some kind of rights, you have to agree always the one who opposes your rights is the white man. Some old blue-eyed, blonde-haired, bad-smelling white man. When he puts his club upside your head, he doesn't care whether you're a Baptist, a Methodist, but he does want to know whether or not you're a Muslim. Because he knows if you're a Baptist or a Methodist, you're going to turn the other cheek. You're going to try and love your enemy. You're going to pray for them that despitefully use you. So he's not worried about you. But he knows if you're a Muslim, you're not going to turn the other cheek. If you pray for him, you pray that God kills him, or God helps you to kill him. That's the only kind of prayer you pray. It's time for you and me to unite, to get together and get this big white ache off our back. You got a bad habit. You're hooked and don't know it. You got what's known as white disease. You think you can't get along without the white man. You think you can't get some clothes without the white man. You think you can't get a house without the white man. You think you can't even get a job without the white man. You're worse than a man who thinks he can't get along without heroin. You're worse than the man who thinks he can't get along without morphine. You're worse than the junkie. You're in worse shape than the junkie because the junkie only has a little monkey on his back and you're running around with a big white ape named Uncle Sam on your back. America is faced with her worst domestic crisis since the Civil War or since the Revolutionary War. For America now faces a race war. A race war is worse than a revolutionary war. A race war is worse than a civil war. A race war is a war in which no holes are barred. A race war is a war in which children are destroyed, in which children are mutilated, in which children face the same destructive wrath that grown-ups face. A race war is the worst war that you can conceive. And this war, race war that is coming upon the head of the white man is something that he is bringing down upon himself. The entire country is on the verge of erupting into racial violence and bloodshed. Simply because 20 million ex-slaves are demanding freedom, justice, and equality here in America from their former slave master. 20 million so-called Negroes, second-class citizens, seeking human dignity, seeking human rights, seeking the right to live in dignity as a human being. And rather than give genuine respect and recognition to your cry for human rights, The American white man answers your nonviolence with violence. He answers your prayers and your freedom songs with false promises, deceitful maneuvers, and outright bloodshed. According to what we are taught from the white man's textbooks and his school, the Revolutionary War and the Civil War were two wars fought on American soil, supposedly for freedom and democracy. But if these two wars were really for the freedom and human dignity of all men, why are 20 million of our people still confined here in America and enslaved by second-class citizenship? Something is wrong. The truth is,
what is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. What's going on, Erica? What's going on, Oni? What's going on, Bakari? I appreciate y'all for coming on. I don't plan on being on here too long. I had a little bit of extra time, and I wanted to show something. I think that it's important to show, like, and to understand the environment we're in. I think that's one thing that we have a problem with is understanding the environment, understanding patterns, recognizing the things that we got to do. So I'm not going to be here long. I'm going to show y'all this, right? What's going on, Cassandra? And if y'all want the link, just let me know and I'll put it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to show you this because I just saw this, and I guess it happened a couple of days ago, but this is about being prepared. You know what I'm saying? You never know what could happen at any time, right? So check this out, right? So this brother was just in the car when some just random white dude jumped in the car, right, and killed him, and then killed himself on a suicide, murder-suicide. Just a random, brother, So check this out.
The widow of a man killed in an apparent murder-suicide in Colorado Springs, questioning the law enforcement response to her husband's call for help. Quaylen Campbell killed last Friday in the parking lot of a Taco Bell on South Nevada. Newsci's Andy Cohen at that news conference this morning, held by the family and an attorney. Andy's in studio with the latest. Andy?
Rob, Talia Campbell says that she called 911 an hour before the police arrived at that Wendy's Taco Bell parking lot last week to report that her husband was being held hostage. She says that she was the one who found her husband's body and attempted to perform CPR before any emergency vehicles arrived.
Now, understand this, right? What's going on, Sankar? Yo, what's going on, Rob? Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, I don't know why we think that anybody care about us, but and that goes with like thinking you're safe and you're protected, especially if you're in certain areas where it's predominantly other people, because like all it takes is one of them. You know what I'm saying? So like and I understand like sometimes people be out there without their jobs and stuff, because of their jobs or whatnot, But this is the importance of like we talk about being in shape and all that stuff is not just for that reason. You never know what could happen. And also, being able to protect yourself, because if somebody just jumps in your car, you would want some kind of way to protect yourself. I know he wasn't in the hood locking the doors like, they try to make it seem like, and he was over there. And a lot of us think we good over there, but, it's the same old thing here. Right. Keep the candy bar at the ready. You know what I'm saying? Because as private citizens, if you're American, right, one thing that America does is practice their quote unquote Second Amendment, right? So if there's anything that you want to take from that, is always be prepared, because I'm telling you, like, things could be good for years, decades, and then all of a sudden something could happen and you want to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the climate we living in.
Quaylen Campbell was at work last Friday when he sent his wife a text message of a photo of an unknown man.
Following the picture were the words, 911, please send help.
She called 911 and said her husband was being held hostage.
I gave them the exact address because he was able to provide me the location. I gave them the description of the man because I can clearly see it in the picture.
Talia says she grew frustrated with the lack of urgency that she sensed on the other end of the line. So she drove 40 minutes to the location Quaylen gave her. She saw his car and immediately jumped out and ran to him.
Now think about this. Like, shouts out to this sister, right? Within 40 minutes, she already knew something was up, and so she drove 40 minutes, right, to go out there to make sure to go see what was up. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, I guess she knew that she was in Colorado. She can't have faith, so this sister went all the way out there. You know what I'm saying? So I guess shouts out to her for that.
What I could see through the windshield was that he was slumped over. So I fell to my knees and I started screaming.
She says there were no emergency vehicles at the scene when she arrived. Another man, later identified as David Carrolls, was also in the car with a gun in his lap. She said people were afraid to help, so she opened the car door to check on Quaylen.
Now, see, and that's the thing, right? And she got there. She lived 40 minutes away and got there before the police, after she called the police. And she still got there first before they even showed up. So they didn't even show up for an hour. Now, I don't even know what kind of town, but there's a Taco Bell there. So it got to be the police somewhere near it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what kind of town they living in or whatever, where it took her like 40 minutes. And then the police didn't even show up for like an hour. You know what I mean? And like Cassandra say, like, your own 811. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we at the like grassroots of all of this, you know what I'm saying? We have let this stuff get out of control to where we don't have no means of protection in no kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has been points where we've had our own protections and we've done things, but now we can't get along or anything. We all the way at like square one for real. Like,
put my fingers on his neck, I couldn't feel anything. I put my fingers on his wrist, I still couldn't feel anything. So my uncle was the only one that was big enough to help pull him out of the car in a pool of blood. It was.
And then other people that was around was like, no, I'm not gonna help. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared, or whatever reason they did. So like, that's another thing. Like, I know, like, once we know who our enemy is, it's hard to get community with them, but it's hard to get community with us too, like, for people to help you and make sure stuff go right. Yeah, you can't expect nobody else to protect you.
It was me that had to try to perform CPR on my husband in a pool of blood.
No one should call law enforcement a hostage situation and it take over a damn hour to respond.
Attorney Harry Daniels is representing the family. They filed an open records request with the city Wednesday.
We want to know how many officers was available, how many officers was working that day, what calls took precedent. I understand the President Biden was here there before and provided protection. I'm sure they had a mass response to make sure he was protected, which we understand. But Quaylen life matters also.
They've also requested the 911 calls Talia made and plan to release them to the public.
We're going to seek every legal justice for this family. If that means filing a lawsuit, invoking the Department of Justice, or the outside agency to do an investigation, because currently Colorado Springs Police Department investigate themselves. I don't trust folks investigate themselves.
Yeah, they're going to investigate themselves to see where they was at, probably doing meth, you know what I'm saying, somewhere. I don't know. Who knows, right? But we don't want to hear the answer to what it would take to get answers, so I'll keep it moving, right? Because it's something I want y'all to show. I want y'all to hear about some of this. Every one of them say something different. That's why I'll go through all of them, because they all have a different specific point in them,
In Wait, the wife of a Newton native shot and killed in Colorado, says she tried to save her husband's life before police showed up.
I decided to drive to the location that he shared. In all of that time, from me talking with the police and driving to his location, took an entire hour.
And you can hear the heartbreak in her voice. That was Quaylen Campbell. She was in her work vehicle.
See, yeah, this is the white dude. Yeah, this is why I had this one. It had the text messages right here, where this is the white dude who apparently shot the brother and then killed himself, And this is about and it's crazy because I know that if it was a brother or somebody asking for money or something, Like you'll be super aware where somebody can't just jump up in the car like that. But even if they do, you know what I'm saying, is no matter what it is, you do want to make it home, you know what I'm saying? Because we have enough casualties as it is, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we want to make it home, you know. And so he said 911, send help. And then she was like, send me your location. I guess he did, you know, and then she called the police and then she rode all the way up there. You feel me? So I don't know, man. That's a good thing for that sister to even go up there to make sure to see what's up. And she got there still before the police because she could tell they was just BSing, you know.
Caitlin Campbell was in his work vehicle in Colorado Springs when a gunman got into his car. He texted his wife, you just heard from, to call 911. And she was on the phone with him. An hour later, when she got there, the police still.
Oh, by the way, you know, because they act like there aren't like black families who do good things with each other and for each other. Like a sister, a brother married to a sister, and you see how far, you know what I'm saying, the sister was willing to go, and you know that's they child. You know what I'm saying?
And she was on the phone with him. An hour later, when she got there, the police still had not showed up. She tried to save him, but she couldn't. When police did get there, they found Campbell and another man dead in the car. Attorneys say they filed an open records request with the police department to get copies of the 911 calls to find out why there was such a.
Well, they was in Colorado. Now, this one says something else that I think is important, too, to point out.
Nobody deserves that.
Family is seeking justice for Quaylen Campbell. A man got into his car, shot Campbell, then himself. Police never responded to his wife's 911 calls after his text that he was in trouble. The family wants to know why no officers came to help. Today, his wife's going to have a press
What is fishy, Sankar?
conference in Colorado. 11 Live's Molly Oak is joining us with more on the case. Molly, you call 911, you expect a response. What are police saying about it?
Cheryl, police told the family they're investigating that lack of response right now. Meanwhile, the family is trying to figure out why someone would want to kill the man they call a gentle giant. It happened on Friday. Quaylen Campbell was driving on showing a gunman jumped in the. She called police and started driving toward her husband. It took her more than 45 minutes to get to him. And when she did, she found Campbell shot twice and killed and found the gunman dead. What she didn't find were any police around. We spoke with Campbell's family and their attorney about what happened.
And I feel like if they would have made it, he probably would have survived. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
So right now they have promised the family that they're going to do their due diligence to find answers and get back to the family. So we'll wait to see what they come up with.
Molly, this is heartbreaking. Calls for help. Even that picture of weren't even that far away.
That Campbell was shot and killed on the same street as police headquarters, less than a mile away. So hopefully that.
Oh, well, I guess it didn't say it on this one. I got the wrong one, but apparently they was from Georgia, right? And then they moved out to Colorado and probably some small town in Colorado. And let me tell you something, like, I don't know, like, if y'all live in these areas, like, I know Virginia has them small redneck areas or outside the cities and stuff like this. Like, it's probably an area like that, you know what I'm saying, where the police is probably part of the Klan and all that. They is in Colorado. Right, you understand all the stuff that been happening in Colorado, and this is a black family that moved from Colorado, from Georgia to Colorado. What's going on, Holly Favorite? So yeah, man, and you know, I guess I don't know like why they did it or nothing like that. It's not to judge them, but it's just saying that that's what happened. They moved out there to Colorado, but. Listen, when you in these places, you can't expect these fools to have your back. If you haven't seen like the real redneck backwoods white dudes, like I don't understand why you would think that they would help you, right? And the sister probably went there without her protection, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm just saying for whatever events that could happen in your life, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I know if I said if a brother hopped in the car, y'all would like people would believe that. Y'all wouldn't take it extreme. But we'll also lock the doors and all that stuff around the people who's really your enemy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's important just to make sure you are aware of your surroundings or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? For somebody just to hop in your car, whatever they got going on. I don't know what the brother was doing either. You know what I'm saying? So I can't get into any of that extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I will give y'all, if y'all want to say something about it, because I'm gonna spare y'all of the white bitch thing for tonight. You know what I'm saying? But I'll play this though, because this is a District 5 supervisor talking about stalking some black people. I don't know if it's gonna play.
Lightning rods of what's going on in Cottonwood or what has recently been happening down there?
Well, I do kind of. I already got it on the record with law enforcement, but I do just want to let people know. I don't know who they were, so I'll start by saying that. But so I had the black SUV parked in front of my property for a while, and then a white SUV came along. They trailed a few people into town. The black SUV had 4 black gentlemen in it, and the white SUV had a white guy and a black guy in it, which I have no problem with any of that, except for we don't have 4 black guys of that age that I know of in Cottonwood. The SUV was had out of state plates.
Now, y'all, and I don't know if y'all been to them redneck towns, right? If you out there and you've been around to them counties and stuff like that, like I'm telling you, like you might want to be strapped up. When I seen it for myself, so I know it's real in Virginia. I can't vouch for any other state, but I can only imagine, right? Especially throughout other places in America, right? So I know that is real. You know what I'm saying? Well, you get in them backwoods, you know what I'm saying? They probably still have Klan rallies out there. You feel me? And these is like some of them small areas. I don't know if the brother what kind of place in Colorado they was in, especially for the police not to show up for an hour, and have any kind of excuse. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, when you out there in them redneck towns, you know what I'm saying? Like, these is the rednecks that's out there.
The black one, the white one had just white plates, paper plates. But so they trailed some folks out of our property, and they were just parked at different areas in front of our house, and then stopped at some of my friends' houses too, got on their security cameras. And then later on, I took my wife's car to go get fuel, and they both SUVs pulled in the gas station, drove a circle around me, and then just stopped and sat there for a while. And then
Utah and Colorado, that whole conglomerate, Idaho, Iowa, all that. I hate to be broke down in Iowa somewhere without a thing on me. But there's young brothers that go out there to play football, so I don't know.
Convinced them they should move along, and they drove to the next gas station down the road.
All right, so
both sides of a.
So he's just telling the story about black people in his neighborhood. I'm gonna skip this because it's really not important, because it's just how he stalked these black people. You know what I'm saying? Because they was in his neighborhood, they don't belong, and all of this stuff. So. And like I said, man, if you think that I've seen it for myself, so like that's all I could do for you, right? So I'm gonna do this, right, and I'm gonna spare you of this, but so yeah, I'm gonna talk about something else, because we was talking about I did put in the title symbolism and all that stuff versus actual stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, Biden and them celebrated the Juneteenth stuff at the White House, right? Because he made it a federal holiday for y'all.
Fact for this country, to acknowledge the origin of the original sin of slavery, to understand the war was never fought over it. It wasn't just about the Union, but it was most fundamentally about the country. In the world, other countries are founded based on faith, on ethnicity. That promise, we've never walked away from it either. On our best days, enough of us have the guts and the heart to stand up for the best in us. It matters.
Yeah. I was about to get into it, considering celebrating Juneteenth for you. You know what I'm saying? And giving these speeches. He's been at HBCUs, black churches. He's been, He's been all over the black community, so you know black people gonna vote for him. He didn't make Juneteenth a holiday, a federal holiday for y'all. You feel me? So check this out, right? This is Kamala Harris when she got on stage, right? She just started laughing.
Happy Juneteenth. Please have a seat. Please have a seat.
You got these N-words. Like that, you see, that's the laugh. Like, oh, they fell for it again. We got him. Got him.
And to my Divine Nine family.
Hilarious. That's all we got to do for you Negroes is throw Juneteenth party. Ha 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 ha. Hilarious, right? And also, you know, of course, they made it a concert and people singing and dancing and all of this stuff. And I'm surprised they didn't have, like, you know, slave blocks where you, like, you know, have people running and jumping and, you know, doing backflips and all that stuff too. You know what I'm saying? For the press conference. But they also combined it, yeah, with Pride Week, Pride Month, and all of these stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because it is the people of color. Y'all do argue for people of color,
Called
right?
the biggest Pride event ever at the White House. Our Nancy Cordes joins us now from Washington with more details. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning, Anne Marie.
Yeah, but you ain't been doing that on a federal holiday, Bakari. That's what they've done for you. So now it's okay for you to get out there and vote. That's why she's laughing like, ah, ha, 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 I got you. Yeah, what up, Koku? No,
so Juneteenth concert planned for tonight on the South Lawn.
A
Can you tell us
Juneteenth
anything about the
concert.
celebrations, and will it be live streamed?
Sure, this White House loves a concert, Anne Marie.
This time they inviting y'all to the cookout, so at least you could say they're inviting y'all this time.
It will likely be live streamed on the whitehouse.gov website. This is, of course, a concert to commemorate.
Ali favorite. I ain't want to say nothing, Ali favorite, but you're right.
The new holiday, only 2 years old, that President Biden signed into law, marking the end of slavery, the first new federal holiday since Martin Luther King Day. And so they're going to have a lot of luminaries on the stage: Audra McDonald, Ledisi, Jennifer Hudson. There will be bands and singers from historically black colleges and universities. And hopefully the president will be in good health and good spirits after having a root canal yesterday, so that he can enjoy it. And you know, this follows, as you mentioned,
How you have a root canal? He probably got false teeth. Like
the big Pride event over the weekend. So the White House looking to show support for groups that it believes need as much support as they can get right now.
And as you know, a number of things related to Pride and the LGBTQ community
What the
have
world?
sparked controversy.
What the hell that got to do with LBGT? I mean, what that got to do with Juneteenth and LBGT? What that got to do with each other?
Sparked controversy.
Is Method Man going to talk about that or something? Or what the hell is Jennifer Hudson going to sing about LBGT stuff or what?
Whether it's, you know, an item being sold in a store or laws being changed. The White House held this big event last.
Okay, Bukhari. Let me stop it before I quit. Yo, what up, Bukhari?
What's up, man?
Nothing
So,
much.
question, man. So, are you saying black people that been celebrating Juneteenth should stop because they said something?
No, Bukhari, you ain't been celebrating on a federal holiday. That's the thing. That's the difference, Bukhari.
Just, man, people been celebrating. Look, dude, people been, those people, Texas, parts, Oklahoma, parts, Louisiana, man, those black people been celebrating at the same time, bro, for real. I lived in Texas. They've been celebrating at the same time. For real. They've been celebrating at the same time. You can say they trying to co-op it, and then they put Pride Month in it. But they've been,
that's what I'm saying, Bukhari.
what I'm saying about the black people been doing that. It ain't like, oh, they gave black people something. No, black people been doing this way before they ever made it a federal holiday. They've been doing that, man. For real. You ever seen the movie Jason Lyrics? You ever seen the movie Jason Lyrics?
Yeah.
If anybody in the chat ever seen that movie Jason Lyrics, and when they was out in the choir was singing and they was at the festival, 1994, that was at the Juneteenth celebration. That was at the Juneteenth celebration in Jason Lyrics. They've been doing that. Yeah, they can jump and say we made it a federal holiday, But those people, they've been celebrating at the same time. I lived in Texas went there when, 94? They've been celebrating at the same time. The old black people, Texas, small parts of Louisiana, parts of Oklahoma, they've been celebrating at the same time. That's when I started celebrating it.
Yeah, Bakar, but that's the thing. Of course, we've been celebrating it, but now Joe Biden and them and Kamala Harris is using that as like, oh, we passed this thing for black people. This is what we're doing for black people, like showing a symbol. I'm not talking about like us celebrating Juneteenth and stuff like that. They having this concert at the White House, you know what I'm saying, and all of this stuff going on. But like, yo, that is how they're using the Juneteenth now. Like they about to make a lot of money off Juneteenth. You know that, by commercializing it and selling it now, like off of what black people
They shouldn't, but they might. But what I'm saying,
that's what they're going to do.
But what I'm saying is, but I don't. But the people who've been celebrating it, they ain't concerned about them. They ain't concerned about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Man, let's give the people credit who had already been doing this. They can say, yeah, federal holiday, but they were already doing it though. It's like they're being erased because Joe Biden say, let's make it a federal holiday. Man, when they've been doing this.
Bakari, we know that. That's the point. Like, because now he's saying, let's make it a holiday because we've been doing this. That's the point. Like, I'm saying, like, I'm not talking down. I'm saying, like, now he's saying this now. And especially now that it's election time, because, you know, a whole lot of black people is going to use that vote blue stuff. And that's all they're ever going to do for black people is just be like, oh, let's do something like make this a national holiday instead of talking about something that's real. You know what I'm saying? Like actually doing something. Like we know we've been celebrating. We don't need them to tell us that. You know what I'm saying? But now he going to like, oh, well, this is what I'm doing for black people. And, you know, other black people going to use that to say vote blue and all this nonsense.
Yep. And I know a whole lot of black folk. And I know a whole lot of black folk going to take that day off work too.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be a lot of black people that talking about it. Ain't gonna get up and go to work that day because it's a federal holiday.
Yeah,
I just say them black folks in Texas created. That's all I said. They created. Ain't Joe Biden. Ain't none of that. Them black folks created the holiday. Even down to all the concerts and all that. They've been doing that. Festivals. They've been doing that.
Right, exactly. Like how the favor we ask for and I wouldn't say ask for anything. It's only one way, but we like people when people ask for like stuff, it's an anti-hate crime bill. It's for resources. You know what I'm saying? But they made Juneteenth a federal holiday. So we it's a federal it's holiday for us already. And that's what they're doing. They're co-opting it. They're doing what they do, like everything. You know what I'm saying? They're gentrify it. You know what I'm saying? They make it an American holiday. They got white people on the banners and try to make it inclusive for all people. It represents all, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's freedom. You know what I'm saying? That's what they about to do is commercialize it instead of like how when we like with the black people you talking about that created it and it means something to black people. Now they're about to commercialize it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the problem, especially with like Joe Biden and them, and then Kamala Harris laughing like, "Oh yeah, all we got to do is say we're gonna make Juneteenth a holiday." Like, come on, like, you know.
But I don't think it's gonna be that simple for the people that created it. I don't think it's just gonna be that simple. I just don't. I really don't. I've been around those. Well, not the people that started it, of course. But I lived in one of the states where it started at, and I've been to those. I don't think it's going to be that simple for them. It might be that simple for some, but I don't think it's going to be that simple for them.
And it shouldn't be simple for any black person, but I'm telling you, like, you don't think that these corporations are going to try to make billions of dollars off of it? Just like Martin Luther King holiday. It meant something to black people. Now it's just Martin Luther King Day. You know what I'm saying? They use Martin Luther King name in vain. You know what I'm saying? And they hated him, threw him in jail, shot him, killed him. But they say, oh, yeah, like they'll throw Martin Luther King in your face today. That's another thing. That's how another way that they get in there because they don't respect the people that created it. They not respecting that. You know what I'm saying? To them, it's like a corporation thing. You know what I'm saying? They're about to make money off of all of that. You know what I'm saying? And we take it as like symbolism, like, oh yeah, Joe Biden did do something to help black folk. Like, no, like we've already recognized Juneteenth. Who you think they got Juneteenth for? Like they study us. They like, oh, all we got to do is give these Negroes something like this. You know what I'm saying? Like something that, you know, just like, of course it means something to us, but I'm saying like it's not a bill or resources or none of that. You know what I'm saying? And try to co-opt it and take over it. You know.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, this one holiday I haven't seen anything for sale. I haven't seen anything in the store say Juneteenth. I see stuff say Memorial Day. Black people created Memorial Day. You can go like here. You can go into Walmart in February and you see stuff with red, black, and green on it. They have tried to co-opt. They tried to co-opt the red, black, and green flag. Nike tried to co-opt. Fortunately, UNIA said something. They took those shoes off the market, and some of that stuff out of Walmart was taken out of Walmart. But yeah, they don't care who in office. They try to co-opt every damn thing if they think they can make some money off.
Yeah, facts.
So I agree with that they trying to co-opt it and make some money off it. And I do agree that they gonna try to say we gonna use this to say we did something for black folks, but I don't think they're working no more, man. You got to talk to some black voters. I don't think that I really don't think that's working no more. Joe Biden get a whole lot of complaints from black voters. He getting talk to some black voters, man. I don't think they're working no more. At least it ain't working for Joe Biden anyway. It might work for the next one. It ain't working for him right now.
Yeah, it might work for Trump actually, for real this time. But
Trump gonna go to jail.
Nah, you can get elected from jail, so you good. And they might get elected even more if he in jail.
They get more voters. Yeah, you heard what one of them MAGA people said, right?
Oh no, what?
Yeah, it's time to one of them said vote Trump in and let him pardon himself. And the other one said, yeah, but it's time. The other one said it's time to take up arms. All and I think you were saying black people need to be ready. I wanted to come on in, but I was
yeah, you can go in on that too. You can go in on that.
I was listening. I was busy. I couldn't come on at that time, but I was listening to Rashard Richey, and it's like one of them and they got people down there in his thing, and it said they're on the Twitter, wherever he was on his social media, they talking about it's time to take up arms. They want to. It's like a couple of them want to get violent. So black folks need to be ready. We need to be ready.
No, Bakari, because like yo, and even if you think like some of the stuff in the news, even for the people who say like that's fake, right? There's a lot of them who watch the news, right? And if you pull up on their house, they think they got a right to shoot you or shoot at you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was gonna show another thing. A sister, she had a gun, she pulled it on a white boy, and then you know what I'm saying. But that's another thing. But yeah, they really be out there, like, you know what I'm saying. I know a lot of black people that probably do DoorDash and all of that stuff, or like go to people's houses or deliver stuff, or working for somebody who could deliver. And that brother was in his work truck, so I get it, because like a lot of jobs they say don't be strapped up, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, like do what you got to do so that you can make it home to your family. My bad.
I just went to a spot and they banned me off. They banned me off the campus because I brought my gun to work. I'm like, man, they called the police. The police was like, man, it was a brother, it was an older guy. He was like, man, I get it. So shit, ain't nobody gonna say nothing to you by having your gun. He said, this day rules. You just can't be on this campus because this day rule. But man, in this environment, I tell every black man to carry their gun with them everywhere they go. Yeah, they don't want you, they don't even want you in your rig with a gun, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, you're talking about in your truck, right? Yeah.
Yep, in your truck. I'm gonna see if I can find that thing from Rashard Richey. I'm gonna mute myself so you don't hear it, but I'm gonna see if I can find that thing from Rashard Richey and play it. I'll let you know when I'm unmuted when I found it.
All right, yeah. And yo, and that's another thing, Ricard, because like when people be on the road and all that stuff, like you never know if you're gonna break down in what town. I seen a story of a brother that got lynched inside his truck and all that stuff. And if you got a CB radio, then you know what they be saying on there. You go to these truck stops, you already know what's up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I understand about, because that's the thing. If you, there are companies be having their rules. You know, I knew one brother at this job I was working at. He always kept his gun in his locker, and then somebody came and snitched on him, and he got fired. But this brother was walking home and walking to work, and it'd be dark and all that stuff. He didn't need to go do nothing at nobody at work. Like this brother was trying to go home at nighttime. You know what I'm saying? And the irony is, he was a Jamaican brother, but he didn't play that. He was always calling out, you know what I'm saying, on the white people stuff. So, but you want to be able to protect yourself and go home at night. You know what I'm saying? And Bakar, you could talk whenever you want to play it, but I'm gonna finish like with this joint, because this is another thing with their celebration, and the people down in Texas didn't do this. They mixed it with the Pride Month celebration. You know what I'm saying? And they were saying, well, this is about Pride Month and gay rights and all of that stuff, not just Juneteenth. It's people of color event here. You know what I'm saying? This is another issue with all of it.
Yeah, because you know this is like the Asian Pacific month too, ain't it? Ain't that this month too? The Asian Pacific Islanders month or something like that. So I have declared the 1st of July, in case people didn't know. On the 1st of July, that's heterosexual month. That's straight Black Pride month. Shit. Hey, but look, let me read this thing right quick. What this dude, what this dude was talking about, right? Okay. The only way this country ever becomes anything like the Constitution says, this country should be as if thousands of traitorous rats are publicly executed. His name is Dogface Killer. Dogface Killer quickly chimed in and said, I got some rope somewhere in the garage, and heavy metal Patriot added, Hans say we can borrow the flamethrower, a reference to a battlefield flamethrower, a Flammenwerfer, a reference to a battlefield flamethrower from the Nazi military. The proposal for mass killing struck you as going too far. Now, this one guy, Black Pill MAGA, doesn't have to be thousands, just a few dozens was due. Shit would stop immediately. Then the other one insisted on we should take out a few elites, wouldn't make the difference, suggesting the number of dead required was on a genocidal scale. Millions, the real problem is the people that vote for them. As long as they exist, the problem can't be solved. So now you know, now you just talking about voting for see, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I hear white folks say shit like that, I'll go vote for them and damn motherfucker to say something to me. Pardon my French on your pound. Because when they talking about people who constantly vote for Democrats, they talking about killing black folks. That's who they want to slaughter. That's who they want to hang. That's who they want to use the flamethrower for. See, I'm the type of person, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. I welcome that. So I'll go up there and vote and walk around with a shirt on saying I voted for Joe Biden. Want one of them to say something to me. Want one of them to try me. Because that's what they're saying. Now, y'all heard what they just said. This was on the social media. I want to say that come from either Twitter or Instagram. I was literally reading their text. I was reading what they were saying. They got rope. Who you think that rope is in who you think that rope is in reference to? I'm just saying, it's just something for us to hear, something for us to think about. That's all I'm saying. It's something for us to hear, something for us to think about.
Yeah, and I'll say this, Bakari, right? A lot of people, like that you like, because I know a lot of people just got regular jobs. A lot of those white boys that be in the places, like they be strapped up, you know. I know here, right? Most of the places I've been to, it's like the redneck white boys who have the Confederate flag and all that stuff, and they live out in these counties, but ain't no jobs out there, so they got to come into the city to get jobs. But when I tell you that they say it's for hunting and stuff, but yeah, you got to understand like what they hunt for. And I've seen like how racist they are, what they could be, and they are following it. Like I've seen one dude like say like, "Oh yeah, I'm not drinking Bud Light no more." If you understand what those white boys be on, I'm like, yo, that's right there, right with you. But I'm sitting here talking to another brother who's saying, "Oh well, we need to get the guns off the streets, and we don't need no semi-automatics and all of this stuff." I'm like, bro, like they not giving up their guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at these white boys around here. You know what I'm saying? Like that is something different. And I understand like maybe we think it won't be like that, but yo, you definitely have to protect yourself, because like they do be on this thing where they are willing to die for what they call America, you know what I'm saying? But they all look at America different, but they all white nationalists at the end of the day. But yo, let me show this Juneteenth, John, because I'm gonna try to hurry up, right?
And the Biden administration called it the largest Pride event hosted at the White House. Why was it important for the administration to do this?
The president put it this way. He said, "Happy Pride Month, happy Pride life." The White House really believes that, and in the wider community, and specifically with legislation targeting transgender individuals, for example, and their medical care, or in Florida banning the ability of teachers to talk about all the festivities and the music on the South Lawn over the weekend, or as long as he is in the White House.
So this is during the Juneteenth concert, I guess, you know what I'm saying, or whatever is going on. But yeah, that's the thing, Bukhari, like because the first mulatto president, right? Because you need two black parents to be black, right? So the first mulatto president, he did do things for other communities, you know what I'm saying? But he intentionally said, because it was a non-starter, guess who? The regular MGTOW white boys. Like that's the thing. Like if you don't even study their culture, like because a lot of them be on that MGTOW stuff, and then the brothers be surprised when they try to mimic their talking points. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I know a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the things they want to do is like one of their stripes is getting the N-word, you know what I'm saying? Like, because those brothers thought they was cool until they started talking about messing with white girls, because you know that's brothers' weaknesses. Even though I'm supposed to give you all a pass, so I ain't gonna talk about it. So go ahead, Bukhari.
Yeah, they just but you know what? I'm gonna still, for me, my thing is, right, I won't let them try to take Juneteenth and make it what they want it to be, and try to make it be and link it up with the gay month. This is something black people started. This is something black people have been doing. I understand what their tricks, what they're trying to do, but I'm being made like, seriously, talk to some new voters, man. Talk to some
Yeah,
of
you
these.
gotta say the young voters, yeah, but they probably gonna be voting Republican though. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about, you can talk some. I mean, I'm saying the new voters. Talk to some of these old voters in their 50s, 60s, and watch what they tell you about. And watch what they tell you about Joe Biden. Joe Biden don't have no extremely high approval rating.
Yeah, but they be like, he not Trump though. Lesser of two evil. I still, the ones I know, and like everyone I talk to that's that age is still like vote blue down the list, even though they're not. They be like, oh, Democrats ain't good. We recognize that now, but still, Republicans are just that evil. You know what I'm saying? Where we gotta vote for Biden just so we don't have Trump. You know what I'm saying? The ones that I know.
Oh, I've heard a couple of them say that too, but I also heard a couple of them say they just won't vote, but they ain't voting for I'm gonna tell you something. Trump did his job. Trump don't ever need to be voted in again. That's my opinion. But Trump did his job. And the reason I say Trump was good, not that he did anything for black folk, right? but because he ain't none of them gonna do nothing for black folk. But Trump, as Khalid Muhammad said to the priests, Trump pulled his skirt of America up and let everybody see what was under there. Trump made everybody be openly bigoted the way they actually. Trump had people show their true feelings. That's why I was glad Trump was president. Not that Trump was a damn fool, but that's the one thing he did. So when people was trying to tell other black people about this country and they kept ignoring it, Trump was able to open the eyes up of some of those black people by allowing white people to want to act like it's 1945 again. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that he. That's the only thing that he did. Joe Biden have not done a damn thing. He ain't done.
Yeah, plus he's too goofy. Like he can't keep falling, and people are going and win president again.
Joe Biden ate it, but we got Cornel West running.
My grandma ain't fall that much, and she was 90 something.
I'm just
and she had Alzheimer's. Like, well, she knew she didn't fall off a bike though. I tell you what.
Joe Biden got some. He shook a hand with a ghost. But we got Cornel West. We got Cornel West running. What y'all think about him?
Man, I don't know, Bakari.
You don't know about Cornel West?
About Cornel West?
Yeah, he running for president.
Well, Kanye West might be running for president too, so.
Oh, I'll take Cornel West way before Kanye Kardashian.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's the same difference. What difference do it make?
Way before, man. At least Cornel West sound like he might have a plan. At least Cornel West talking about he can help, and he talking about class, but he told me he can. His plan would help black folks. Something like what's his name that everybody laughed at because he was a Republican, but still, when I talk to people, they haven't read his plan. The one who died from COVID.
I don't know.
Damn it. He was running. He was going to run against Obama.
A black person?
What the black guy name?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Oh, y'all don't remember the black guy name that was in the? He was leading the Republican primary when he had to bow out. He the one people were predicting to win, and he had to bow out. What's the name?
I don't know, man. Cornel West can't even keep his tender. What is it called? Tenure?
His tenure, yeah.
Tenure. Yeah, you said he was supposed to lose that. He lost his.
He was crying.
I don't know, man. I can't vouch for you, boy, man. I'm sorry.
Cornel West is not my boy. I'm just, I don't give a damn about Cornel West. But damn it, man, can't nobody think of the black guy name that ran against that was trying to run against Obama, had the pizza place, and he had to bow gracefully. All them white women came out and said he had harassed them, and he died at a Trump rally right after. Died at a Trump rally right after with from COVID. Went to the Trump rally with no mask on.
No, I don't know who that is.
I cannot think of that damn dude. Herman Cain. You don't remember Herman Cain?
I remember his name. I don't remember what he was talking about. I knew he was saying a lot of coon stuff, though.
Yeah, see, but that's the thing. He said a lot of coon stuff. He did. But I asked, did anybody ever read his 999 plan?
What up, matron? No.
Did anybody ever read his 999 plan? And the answer to that, every time I ask black, the answer to that is no. But if they had read his 999 plan, whether he could execute it or not. But the plan he had written up, black people was going to benefit from his plan. If you read it, his plan was going to benefit black people, benefit black people more than anybody. If you ever read the plan, he had the plan written up. It might still be online, the 999 plan. That was the thing. Somebody asked him, what is 999? He said, shit, look it up. He couldn't tell you what it was. I don't know who wrote the plan, but black people, my nephews told me to read it, so I read it. But black people would have benefited greatly from his plan, just like what's the other guy? And the reason I'm saying all this, right? Because it's like we just go ahead and say, oh, they ain't worth nothing. What the guy named Cory Booker, right? Mm-hmm. When Cory Booker ran for president, you knew he wasn't gonna win. Only thing people did, especially social media, come out and call him gay, come out and talk negative about him. None of them never read none of his plan. One person on social media, and I read the plan on social media. And if anybody ever read the stuff he was talking about how all the land that belonged to black people, that was taken from black people and stolen from black people, that was going to be the first thing he do, was give that money and land back to black people. But since social media has a great influence on people, people didn't even read none of the plan that he said.
Yeah, Bakari, but that's because he came out and was saying like yo, it's not about black. He was coming out saying the people of all colors stuff, and he was like, he wasn't like, and then he has a history of like being involved in a lot of, now I ain't even talking about no gay stuff. I'm just saying like a lot of suspect stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as politics go.
Forecast, we 43 million, 13% of the population. Even if he got all the black vote, he couldn't win. If every black person voted for him, he couldn't win. So you got to say something to get somebody else vote.
But he was saying, I'm not, what he was like, yo, I'm not going to, like, he was just saying I'm not going to do something. So he was basically saying what Kamala Harris was saying, you know what I'm saying?
But it's okay to read his plan too. And that's the point I'm talking about. We can hear what they say, but we can also read the plan. And when you read the plan, that's who his plan, that's literally who his plan was for. If anybody ever read what he was talking about, that's what it was for. Okay, the point I'm making when I'm saying read these folks' stuff, sometimes we got to dig deeper into what they are talking about they are going to do. You know, ain't now one of them Europeans going to do nothing for you. But sometimes you got to dig deeper instead of just automatically putting them in a box and say, okay, instead of us saying, let's see what he's talking about. And then when I told Kamisi Fox this, Kamisi Fox looked it up and like, man, I ain't even know that. Then Kamisi Fox started digging deep and he sent me something. Like, damn, this is Cory Booker is the one who fighting. He's the one who's standing strong, talking about all these people who they false, all these black people they're false imprisoned, got all these years, how they need to let people out. It's Cory Booker who was leading the way on that. But if we don't dig deeper, we won't know. So we just automatically, what I'm saying is the people that, even the ones that look like us, before we even read their plan or try to read their plan, we have just put them in a box and say, they just like everybody else. They can't come out and say, I'm going to do this specifically for black people and have a chance at winning. They can say it, but will not have a chance. Their chance at winning is already slim in them.
Bakar, he was in office already, and like not a national office, but he was in office in like I think New York or something like that, right?
He was the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, and
New Jersey, right?
Look and see how he turned Newark around. That's one of the things people were talking about, what he did while he was in office.
So okay, Bakar, why?
Okay, I ain't telling nobody nothing. Ain't nobody got to read nothing. We ain't got to. They ain't all of them in the same box.
No,
but I'm
not. Okay, so I'm asking you. Okay, so what did he do for black people in Newark, New Jersey? Because I'm sure he had a plan for black people then too, right? Because there's other stuff that he was in that was like super suspect on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Like the people he was associating with that was black. You know what I'm saying? That had, you know, he had a lot like I don't even want to say like, but he did have a lot of dealings with like, certain Muslim brothers, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of stuff that was in the community. Like I did do research on him and like the stuff that he was doing, I don't know about his plan or whatever, but I'm just saying like bro, like he had a lot of like suspect connections, you know what I'm saying, like where
That's America.
man, come on, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to get me some of them suspect connections. I'm being honest with you. I want me
but like the dude who was allegedly, you know what I'm saying, was the one who shot Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying, he became a community activist that worked with him, you know what I'm saying.
That worked with who? With Cory Booker?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't know that, but I'll say that's black folks. He walking around the neighborhood and people working with him.
Yeah, well, that's just like, some of the stuff when we was talking about Malcolm X. One of the things I was, because the brother who they said was the actual one with the shotgun and stuff like that, he became a community activist up there in New Jersey, I think. And he had a lot of, like he was like, and then Cory Booker was like allegedly cool with the, NOI and all of that stuff. But it was a lot of suspect stuff that he was like doing. That's why I'm like, yo, what did he actually do for like? And I didn't want to say like, I don't want to put him out there, but I get what you're saying, because as a brother here, like he's not black first, but he's just a regular brother. He get the least amount of vote. I vote for him every time. And he talk about black issues and black first, but he's about everybody. You know what I'm saying? But he don't get votes either. You know what I'm saying? But
Black white is right. So when Raphael Warnock won the Senate here in Atlanta, right, in Georgia, he went in and he revised Cory Booker's plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Revised it so he could get it passed. He revised it and said it was for black farmers. Then he said farmers of color, whatever that is, and then other farmers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know why I got voted? But you know why people took him to court and sued it, and ain't nobody got no money? Because what he said was he was tired of black people getting other people leftovers. So every black farmer in this country, every black farmer in this, that's who they get their land and they get their money first. Then everybody else share what's ever left over. But he wrote it in a way so other people could agree with it, so they could get it passed. And then once they got it passed, they were taken to court, and you can look and see them old white Republicans actually read the whole thing, I guess, and they took it in court, and it's still held up in court. And I think that was the first thing that made some black people look at Joe Biden differently, because like, you the president, and all you have to do is sign what they call it, an executive order, and pass it through, and he didn't. And that when some older black voters started looking at him differently, because he ain't bagged the people he claimed that he was going to bag. But yeah, when it was written, and then Raphael Warnock revised it, it was for black farmers, minority farmers, farmers of color. But then black farmers had to get everything they was going to get first. Everything that was owed to black farmers, they get first. Then everybody else get what is ever left over.
Yeah, I feel you. And that's the thing though. Like that's why I like with Obama, he said, you know what I'm saying, well, black people do deserve reparations, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't bring it up or try to make it happen because it's a non-starter issue. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like until you got candidates that's for you, by you, that you funded and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a dirty game either way, because they're going to try to keep the people who giving them money and making them happy. They're going to be first, not black people, and listen, that all of this stuff, it comes to community, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I still know that a lot of people that like, you know, that I would be like my aunts and the people of that age, you know, they still kind of on that, you know, vote Democrat down the list kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gonna make
But
that vote Democrat, don't no matter what. Vote Democrat, no matter what. The last time, and I'm laughing, but it's really not funny. But the last time a lot of black people voted for Joe Biden out of fear.
Right.
You remember when they was doing their going out policy right before the election? You remember all them white militias was out?
Right.
What, man, I wish Guy was in the chat. Guy tell you, it was this dude came on our panel. Man, you would have thought the white militias was at his back door. This dude, what was it? Shit, he was in his 30s, by the way. We can't vote for no Donald Trump. You can't let Donald Trump win. Look at these militias. Man, they coming to get us. And if we ain't careful, these damn militias, they gonna have us, man. We can't let them win. If he win, these militias gonna come get us. They gonna like, God damn, dude. You can't stop the militias. Like, dude, we can stop the militias. We can stop the militias, but a lot of people voted out of fear. They saw all of those militias constantly on TV. Now, I used him because he was on my panel, but it was a whole lot of other black people voted when they started seeing those militias, those white militias, the Proud Boys, and all those people out there on the streets, right? Which at the same time, that's why the NFAC was good. But black people saw the militias, man, and I'm telling you, she talked to them, ask them, they'll remember, man, these people crazy. But see, and that's why they voted for them out of and they voted for Joe Biden out of fear of what the white militias would do.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
It was funny to me to see grown black men that afraid. It's funny and not funny, but I still laugh. I guess I have an idea why they kind of afraid, but I still laughed a little bit because those same people that was kind of afraid would be some of the same people tell you we don't need no guns.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and also, you know, they are talking about and then you see black people sitting there talking about, oh well, white kids shot each other and white on white crime, so we don't need things to protect ourselves, you know, and talking about gun rights using, you know, and especially with the taxes and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to be like, yo, trade one plantation for another like a lot of brothers do, you know. But yo, Bakari, let me go through the rest of this joint, so because I don't want to be too long on here, right? So I ain't gonna
say that.
Yeah, so I wanted to play this part, right? Because I'm gonna give y'all spare y'all from the white bitches this time, but I'm gonna be on the next time. But yo, so you know, I ain't talked about the shysters in a minute, Bakari. All right. But you know, so Joe Biden did this with Juneteenth and stuff like that, but he was just talking about how the government planned to have a plan to combat anti-Semitism. You know what I'm saying? And you know he doesn't really say nothing here. You know how Joe Biden talks, so I'm not gonna play that. Just gonna play this quick news joint because she kind of covered it.
Has been unveiled to counter anti-Semitism in America. President Joe Biden says that it's a first of its kind initiative.
It's on all of us. It's on all of us to stop it. We must say clearly and forcefully that anti-Semitism and all forms of hate and violence have no place in America.
The plan calls for improving safety and security for Jewish communities, and it also calls on tech companies to establish a zero-tolerance policy for hate speech.
So yeah, so they pretty much
establish a zero.
They saying that they're gonna do more things to make them federally protected. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of black people said we need an anti-black hate bill. There's only one bill that's gonna stop the anti-black hate. It may not stop it, but it'll make sure nobody acts on it. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, all of these other groups are going to always look out for themselves first, right? And you know, I haven't talked about the shysters for a minute. You know, Bakari, they're gonna be like, "Oh, y'all ain't talking about the shysters." So You know, the shysters is just like every other group of crackers or whatever you want to call them. I don't understand the word Peckerwood, Bakari. That's what I don't get. But
That's the only one that bother them.
Peckerwood.
Redneck is like especially like the ones you call with them Confederate flags.
Right.
Being called a redneck is a badge of honor. In all honesty, rednecks were the ones that literally they are the ones that was fighting the government. They are the ones that got the other white folks in line with them to fight. Being called a redneck was like a badge of honor.
Yeah, they got the comedian, the redneck dude. He was proud of being a redneck.
Yeah, that's like a badge of honor.
He wasn't even he wasn't even a redneck for real. Well, he was. They all got rednecks, but you know what I'm saying. He wasn't one of them country dudes.
No, see, redneck don't mean country. Redneck was just the ones that fought back.
Right, he wasn't one of those. That's what I'm saying.
He wasn't one of them.
Nah, he's like one of the regular, but it was his comedian act, so he could make money off of him.
I'm gonna see the rednecks was mostly. Now they were from down south of starting. They were mostly the poor white farmers that fought back because the rich farmers, because the big rich white farmers in the big white industry was they say was oppressing them, right? That's what they say. So they were able to get people from other places to fight with them because they was fighting the government. And this became a badge of honor. Peckerwood, they don't like that. I don't even know where the name Peckerwood come from, but boy, they don't like that one. They don't call one of them a Peckerwood. Then you get under their skin. They don't like that one.
Yeah, I don't know where that's what I'm saying. I don't know where Peckerwood comes from, you know. But so they have an actual plan or strategy to quote unquote counter anti-Semitism, you know what I'm saying? And Bakar, we ain't talked about the shysters for a minute, right? So and it was other stuff I wanted to show back then since the Kyrie Irving thing.
Small hat. You better say small hat.
Small hat, why? The Jews, the Jewish shysters. How about that? The Polish kike bitch who runs this channel needs to see this. How about that? But check out the black and brown, the black and Jewish. I'm sorry. They talking about we need to unite because they was just going in on black people. You know what I'm saying? So I like to talk about share the wealth around. I know people get mad when I talk about their favorite white people. You know what I'm saying? Like some people like white bitches, you know what I'm saying? Some people like, you know what I'm saying, the Jewish bitches, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all like the kikes, some of y'all like the rednecks, you know what I'm saying? Whichever favorite white person you got. I know y'all are the Asians or the Hispanics or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Whoever you think is your friend, I'm gonna show you how they not.
Now at 11, Communities United. Leaders in South Florida's black and Jewish communities discuss how to rise above mounting anti-Semitic and racist rhetoric.
CBS 4's Naja Sherman joins us live from the newsroom with more on tonight's forum. Naja.
Lauren and Jim, the goal of tonight's forum was to spread awareness about some
of black people always participate in this nonsense.
Step up and stand up.
Community activists tell us they are encouraged by what they experienced tonight.
It's an initiative between the two communities, the African American community and the Jewish community, and we intend for it to be an ongoing series of events, discussions. I believe racism and anti-Semitism are issues that plague and unfortunately negatively affect our community.
Relationships. I'm hoping that we can begin to have some real conversations so that it's not just, open forums like this, but we can have true conversations in the long run to really talk about how.
Now, I know it seemed like community leaders, but like now, Bakari, it is true when I talk to people, all of that online, offline, black people love this people of color nonsense. And there is this like, oh, this people is our people and that people is our people. You know what I'm saying? Even in our different ideologies, we find a way to excuse other people, but never black only. It's never black only. You know what I'm saying? Black people around the world, I don't care where you from. You know what I'm saying? It's never that. But we can always find a way. And that's why I'll be like, you know, okay, not all black people might not be invited to the cookout, but if any black person is not invited to the cookout, then no other group is invited. I don't care if they Filipino. I don't care if they even mulatto. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's nothing against mulatto children because they didn't choose to be born that way. You know what I'm saying? But if it ain't black only, then you know what I'm saying? And that's just where we are right now. And as a mind frame, and we can't move forward to do world trade and make moves around the world until we even understand who the enemy is, right? And who, because at the end of the day, we are all we got. You know what I'm saying? We know if we call the police, you know what I'm saying? If that brother ain't have a wife that concerned to go out there, you know, who knows, you know? But anyway, go ahead. You want to say something, Bakari?
Go ahead. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, so let me show you. All right, let me show you this. He's talking about something.
We should hear good news. We should hear peace.
Well, he's talking about some bullshit. So but yeah, man, it was black people there, and I just got this one as extra because this just happened with the shysters. This is a black woman somewhere else, though. You know what I'm saying? And as much as she fought for them, she said, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know, shysters, you got to realize that y'all are a different group of crackers too, or a different group of peckerwoods, you know what I'm saying? So you got to respect our stuff. And now they hitting her with the anti-Semitic stuff. And this is in another country, even though we like to be like it only happens in America.
Has this political trailblazer trashed her own reputation? Diane Abbott was Britain's first black woman MP. But after decades of speaking out about racism, an intervention on that very topic has attracted almost...
Yep, love every woman but black women. Well, Kari, I started to send this joint to you where this brother was on there defending that white girl that all the brother. I don't know why brothers be talking about that plain Jane as white girl. But
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was brothers like defending her to death against other brothers. And I ain't never seen that for a sister. But yeah, you know, they hate us just like every other group. But you know what I could tell you? Go ahead, Bakari.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you
No, I was about to say something different. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Bakari. I was about to say something different.
Dr. John Henry Clark explained that a long time ago. Dr. John Henry Clark said with the Bible, and you find black people that see themselves as Jews, black people get all dewy-eyed. He said they get all dewy-eyed when you go to talking about the Jews because of the Bible and the way it's been taught, mainly according to him. Little bit about the Bible, more of how it's been taught, where black people think they the same as those people. So they get all dewy-eyed about the Jews because of their religions. And you know, and it's not just, I said, you know, the Bible, because Christianity is bigger here than Islam, but in Islam too. And that's the thing. Now that's what Dr. John Clark said. That's what Dr. John Henry Clark said.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man, because we could see the difference between us. I don't know, because I think we got dewy eye when they seen the cave bitch in the caves, you know what I'm saying? Like, to spawn their whole race, I think we got dewy eye, Bakari. It's hard to say where we lost track at. But yeah, I feel what you're saying about the shysters, though. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they're just another group that is competing. You can even say they may have had the advantage and won or whatever. They didn't win yet because other white groups still compete and they still fight wars against each other. But you know, they are, you know what I'm saying, just another group. Now I get why they was called the shysters, because they be lying their ass off, right? You know, it ain't even a secret history no more, and they still be lying about it. But listen to, they trying to end this sister's career. This happened about a month ago, and this is over in UK, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to, you know what I'm saying, bring it up because we not gonna act like, you know what I'm saying, all of these groups is not, you know what I'm saying. We don't have no friends, right? At the end of the day.
Universal condemnation.
I woke up today and I read the letter in the Observer written by Diane Abbott, and it beggars belief. The comments from Diane Abbott are simply unacceptable.
In a letter in today's Observer newspaper, she wrote that Irish, Jewish and traveller people undoubtedly experience prejudice. This is similar to racism, and the two words are often used as if they are interchangeable.
Now, she said this comments here is unforgivable. Now, even she said, well, undoubtedly the Jewish, Irish, because we all act like, oh, black people like, well, the Irish were slaves too. And, you know, these poor rednecks was the ones killing us.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to say that. I was going to cut you off to say it. You know,
and that was a bunch of BS, because you know how you could tell the difference? They be like, yo, where you from? I'm like, from Ireland. I'm Irish. You ask a black person, we're going to argue about it for like on social media for years. You know what I'm saying? That's one way to let you know there's a good difference. But she was saying this similar to racism, and she's talking about anti-Semitism, but the two words is often used interchangeably, which it is not.
It is true that many types of white people with points of difference, such as redheads, can experience this prejudice, but they are not all their lives subject to racism.
So she's talking about, look, there's white on white crime. White people, right? They look at each other, they kill each other for all kind of reasons, you know what I'm saying? They don't have no resources, you know what I'm saying? They're babies, like, you know, they want to molest each other's children, whatever reason it may be, right? They got redhead, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They can experience prejudice, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's white on white crime. It's not my business, you know what I'm saying? And it's not the same thing as understanding. I can tell that, you know what I'm saying, Bukhari, Matron, Casidra is black people. I can look and see that. I can look and see that, Joe, if we take racism off the map today, I can see there's a clear difference. But I don't know. But let me.
After a backlash, Diane Abbott swiftly apologised and withdrew the comments. But she's had the Labour whip suspended, meaning she's now an independent MP. Her own Hackney constituency includes one of the largest Orthodox Jewish communities in Europe. Do you think what Diane Abbott said is anti-Semitic?
Definitely. I mean, there's no question about it. How can it not be?
But some are supportive of their local MP.
I know she's helped a lot of people in the Jewish community in the past. So for a second, I would not think that she meant what she said.
In her apology,
now, she did all that for the Jewish community, and she didn't even say nothing wrong, right? It said that is not the same thing, and you are white people, you know what I'm saying, which is true. They got Whoopi Goldberg for that too, by the way, you know what I'm saying. But like, do you see the quote unquote unity? But now that one shyster dude was all cold, right? They might take him in the alley and beat him to death or something, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But for the most part, there's going to be consequences, whether it be financial, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to shop at their stores anymore, you know what I'm saying? Or they're going to get them, at this point, they get them fired, but you can get them fired by not stopping at their stores. They're going to stay as far as like, yo, we're going to be like, yeah, she was definitely against us. And we can't even agree on anti-blackness because we can't even talk about what is black, you know what I'm saying? But you see that there's consequences, and they made this sister apologize immediately. All right, you see this, Bukhari?
Yeah, I see it. That street right there.
All right. No.
Yeah. I'm listening. Hey, but you know what? Something else great Dr. John Henry Clark said. We also conflate what we went through to what those people went through in the Bible, right? And since made them, since they have claimed that identity, so now we try to, some of us will say they the same because they claim that identity, and they think that, and a lot of our people think they the people from the Bible. So then they start looking, saying they went through it too. But even if you look at that and they study their Bible properly, right? They didn't go through what we went through because we didn't go on Europe. We was not going in and out of Europe looking for somewhere to live and to have food to eat. We were not doing that. You know what I'm saying? They go trying to build a military, right? In the Bible, right? So even that's not the same. But I wanted to tell you this, right? If you look up the U.S. Census, right, you know 90% of Jews put themselves down as white. You know that.
They are white.
I know they are. I'm just saying that for the people that try to do a difference, they know what they are, and that 10% part of the game to keep people confused, or that 10% they are actually not white. They might be some black. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Jewish, like I know it's a surprise to people, but Jewish is not actually a race; it's a religion. You know what I'm saying? But I know it became a minority or ethnic class. But you know what, Bukhari? And one of the only things that I disagree that I heard Khalid Muhammad say, right? He was like, some dude asked him, he was like, yo, I pray to God or whatever. He was like, you might be my brother by faith. But he still said, you're not my brother by nature. But you're not my brother at all. You know what I'm saying? We don't got the same faith, because if it's your God, then your God got to die. You know what I'm saying? At this point, because your God has allowed so much stuff, and theirs can't be the same as ours, and maybe we should get back to ours, but you see how, like, they're going to levy fines, instead of saying like, oh, if a Jewish boy gets shot in the back after somebody chased him down, like, it's going to be way more than just, what I'm saying, they're going out of business. But we have to just sit here and talk about not shopping at their stores after they killed our children. And like I said, I seen something when they was throwing the shyster, it was about the shyster. They were like, but they said, we knew that when we can throw your children in the ovens and y'all ain't do nothing about it, that you were defeated, and we won. And I'm like, yo, if we know that we can harm your children and there's no consequences, then we won. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these other groups gonna stick together. I like to show the video of the New York cop who was black trying to tow somebody, and they broke his tow truck and sent the black NYPD officer back. They told him go back to Harlem, right? And nothing happened. But abuse your power if you're gonna do that. But anyway, Bukhari, you want to say something? Because I'm gonna show something positive so we can wrap it up.
Now go ahead.
Oh, this not positive, but this was funny, Bukhari. I had to show this. I'll give y'all a slight white girl pass, but look, I read this wrong, right? I thought it was like, 80 years old, right?
Okay, now hold up. When I first saw this, I was like, girl, cut yourself some slack. You turning 88 years old. Now, don't get me wrong. That white ain't right. Okay, that black don't crack, and that white ain't right, because a black person turning 88 would look, better than this. But at the same time, when you pushing 100, I'm gonna cut you some slack. You deserve to crack at that point. Okay, so I'm like, girl, whatever. You look fine to be turning 88, right? But then look at this next video.
Just sort of sitting over here wondering what the bloody hell's going on with TikTok overnight. Holy, who would have thought a ridiculous video? Nearly 1 million views or somewhere around there. I don't know, I'm in crappy service being a full-time driver. Yes, I work 7 days a week. I am, in fact, 88 born. I am 34 years old. I will be 35 in July.
Now, people thought she was saying she was... People thought she was saying she was 88 years old. And they were like, oh, no, you look good for 88. She got so many comments that you look good for 88 that she had to make this video. But this white girl is younger than me, Bukhari.
That woman says she 88 born. What the hell?
Oh,
she
man.
She's 35.
She's 34, bro.
Shit.
Trump might be 42 for real.
Shit. Life been rough, man. It's rough when you go take people land and you got to live in that heat, bro.
Hey, look, that's what everybody in the comments say. Like, because they ain't got no business over there in Australia. That's the problem. The sun tan her ass up.
Yeah, they all out of their element. They all out of there.
She said, I'm not 88. I was born in 88. And she had to clarify that. Like, God damn.
88 born. I am 34 years old. I will be 35 in July. Yes, I am Australian. I do obviously work full time. For all you lovely people that had lovely comments on that video, thank you for your support. I do really appreciate it. As for the rest of you, mob, I'm not too sure what this world is coming to. However, all the same, I wish you all a beautiful day from here in Australia.
That's when I realized she not turning 88. She was born in 88. So I'm confused. I'm like, wait. She must mean 1888 because there's just no way. But then no, she said she is 34, turning 35 in July. So then my gears get to turn. I'm like, wait a second, because I was born in 1996. I'm 26, turning 27 in July, in fact. And I'm like, you telling me, y'all, this is preposterous.
Oh man, Bakari. Yeah, that was just kind of funny. I had to show that one. I was tripping off of it. Y'all might not be tripping. This supposed to be y'all white girl past though. So I ain't gonna stick on this one. But that's crazy, man. Yo, so this is the positive thing, Bakari, right? Because they like they trying to put together. I ain't really watched this one. Maybe I should have, but they talking about Black Wall Street in Baltimore. They're trying to put it together, and a bunch of Black-owned businesses trying to positively impact the community. And I only watched part of it, you know what I'm saying? Because then I started doing something else. I wasn't paying attention.
That they are calling the Black Wall Street of Baltimore.
WMAR2 News' Brittany Werner spoke with some of those business owners in North Baltimore about what they're doing and how they're using business to impact the community. She joins us now. Hey, Brittany.
Hey, Mallory and Kelly. Along 25th Street, there are...
Yo, Bakari, I should pull up a picture of an 80-year-old Black woman. I was watching somebody. I think it was Diane Carroll or somebody, and when she was older, and she looked younger than her.
Yep, you can pull up Cicely Tyson. There's a whole lot of them.
Pam Grier.
Shit. Oh, that was, she didn't like that. You.
Damn, she said she was born in 88, not 88 years old. She said y'all was trying to troll her.
By her straightening her age out, made her look like 10 years younger. So she went from looking 88 to 78 because people realized, oh, she ain't 88. So they had to go down 10, 20. She looked 68, 78.
Hey, that's what that OnlyFans model that killed that young brother, that's what she gonna look like in like 2 years. And if you only knew that, you know what I'm saying? It's not to make fun of him, but I'm just saying, bro, like, they be like aging quick as hell, you know what I'm saying? They be looking 42 when they like 15, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. And then they try to make fun of our kids, like, you man, we be looking young all the way, you know what I'm saying? They be trying to act like they don't recognize a teenager kid. We know teenagers. Like, it's them, like, you can't even tell, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, like, you can't tell the age of this sister right here. She could be 32, 42, 22. Anyway. What'd you say, Bakari?
No, nothing. I'm gonna wait till she beautiful. I know that. But
all right. So positive stuff. Black-owned businesses in Baltimore trying to put together a Black Wall Street, as they call it.
At least 3 blocks full of Black-owned businesses. Some of the owners say their mission is to create a strong economic community while encouraging youth in that community to explore entrepreneurship as well. The Black Wall Street in Baltimore is what business owners have named 3 blocks full of Black-owned businesses in their community.
These are a lot of young entrepreneurs. Original Black Wall Street of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the dollar circulated in the community for over a year.
Ms. Jackie, who owns multiple buildings along 25th Street, comprised of several businesses, says she serviced this community in North Baltimore for around 20 years. And keeping the dollar circulating within the community is a mission they are constantly working to uphold.
You want to learn about hair? Or we're going to send you to Blush to talk to Ashley and Blush. There are different things. We can send the young people who want to learn about barbering to WA, to Dre at WA. You want to learn about how to make your shirts and how to produce your brand, we send you to talk to Mike at Screwed.
Marcus Catlett manages Screwed, a unisex clothing brand along that strip. His brother Mike, who owns the store, started the brand.
He's a big believer of not letting a 9-to-5 job define you, and that, you know, you can go out on your own and have your own business and be successful. For other people to see, like, And how can all y'all be on the same block and still like prosper and all y'all be successful? That it can be done. And like I said, that we are stronger together.
DeAndre Williams is another entrepreneur who owns a clothing brand WA and a barbershop connected.
It's just like the Mecca. It's like a Baltimore Rodeo Drive, honestly. You come and you see people that motivate you every day. We're accessible. It makes it a lot easier for a kid to relate and be like, I can do that too.
In addition to a host of other businesses along 25th Street between North Howard and St. Paul Street, there's even a little free library promoting literacy. And on top of owning and managing businesses, Ms. Jackie says through her nonprofit Notre Maison Connects, they are encouraging youth in the community to be entrepreneurs as well.
And in that, we work with 18 to 21-year-olds, so we teach them about entrepreneurship. We teach them about unity. We teach them about supporting each other. We're not going to push you down, pull you down. We're going to lift you up.
My message would be just to have discipline. Discipline is a fast track to elevation, and you got to discipline yourself when you're trying to elevate.
Typically in the city of Baltimore, there's a lot of division, but not on Black Wall Street.
Now, connecting youth in the community to the businesses there is just one way they are giving back to the community. And they're hoping as many more people learn about what they're doing, that they will support them as well.
Brittany, anything the community can do to help support these entrepreneurs and their businesses?
Yeah, well, aside from patronizing the many businesses that sit along that strip, you can donate books to the Little Book Library, and they are hosting an event, a toy and coat drive that's coming up in a few weeks. We'll let you know about that. They also have a lot of community events that are going on there where they give back every holiday. So make sure you check out 25th Street, known as the Black Wall Street of Baltimore.
All right, so yo, that's what's up. So next time I go to Baltimore, I definitely gotta check that out. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. If that's like, you know what I'm saying. But it can be done, it's been done before, and we have no choice but to do stuff like that, you know. But so what you think about that, Bakari?
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. I have to go take a visit to the Black Wall Street out here in Atlanta. Matter of fact, you remember that day, and I was did you see the video where I recorded those where I interviewed those business owners with the boxing gym and all that?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Every business in that plaza is Black owned. And the owners were coming together trying to buy the plaza together. But every business there is Black. Everyone is Black owned. So that's a wonderful thing when you see them doing it. That is a wonderful thing. That's great.
Yeah, definitely. And then Baltimore, like you said, man, like having it together and you know, like understanding that you are stronger together. And at the end of the day, you know, I know we don't realize that we are all we got, but we are all we got. So like just understanding that and getting to the point where we realize, you know, if we don't do it, we're going to be in a situation until we realize it, you know what I'm saying? But until we do realize it, then this will be in every city and every place. But for now, you know, support Black people that's out here doing stuff, you know. If you can donate to them, you know, shouts out to Consider, you know, maybe I don't know all the kind of businesses they got out there, but maybe, you know, reaching out to that and seeing if they got a. But as Black people, you know what I'm saying, if you got a Black owned construction company, it's okay to reach out to other Black people and not try to be like stuck up about it. Yo, my brother Bobby in the building. Yo, shouts out to my brother Bobby. It's been a minute. I'm glad my brother in the building. But yeah, man. So like when it comes to all of that, you know, we got to focus on the tangiblism, right? Instead of the symbolism with ourselves and each other. It's not just what they offer us or not just what they try to do or trying to take over and try to make it, you know what I'm saying, X, Y, and Z to make it a political thing. Our lives are not a political thing. Our history is not political. It's our lives, you know what I'm saying? So we got to understand like the difference between surrealism and symbolism and actual tangiblism, like what these brothers is out there doing, because really that's up to us, you know what I'm saying, to complete that, you know. But yeah, yeah, go ahead, Bakari.
Yeah, you know, I know you about to get off, so I'm gonna say this, right? When you were talking about Juneteenth earlier, right? I want everybody to know I was not trying to take away from what Forecast said. Whenever Forecast come on my panel, he got to go against me. I got to go against Forecast. But when I go on. But anyway, but no, I agree. with what forecast was saying about them they are trying to co-opt the holiday. I can't even remember when it was made a federal holiday, but this year, when was it made a federal holiday?
I think it was this year or last year. I think it's this year though.
This year gonna be the first one, but
Yeah,
I
I think
remember
so.
when they first talked about it. But when they started talking about it, I allowed them talking about it, saying they want to make it a holiday or go make it a holiday. Stop me and my family, because me and my family, we've been celebrating it. But I'm not gonna let them stop me. I know they trying to co-opt. So for me, once again, it'll be back to pound the pavement. We got to get out here and let our people know. Don't let them trick you with them saying they're making this a holiday, because we know what they're trying to do. We know they want our people, but I'm gonna give my people a little credit to say I don't think we falling for it no more. I'm gonna say that because Lord knows I hope not, but I know that's what they are trying to do. So we got to get out here and just talk to our people. Don't let them trick you, making this a federal holiday. Enjoy your day off work. Enjoy your barbecue. Enjoy your paid day off work. Enjoy your barbecue, your fireworks. Enjoy all of that. Let that be the main. But remember, right behind that is they didn't do nothing for us. This is something Black people had already created. Don't let them tell you it's a holiday. We were already celebrating it. You understand what I'm saying? So don't let them trick us. Don't let them trick us talking about they did something for us. No, this is something we did. This is something we did for ourselves. And then we were talking about the candidates. Cassandra put in the chat, I think that was Cassandra highly favored. One of them put in the chat when I was talking about Cornel West, they say, stop it, Bacard. At that moment, I couldn't stop it. Look, yes, Memorial Day was started by us too, highly favored. I don't support no damn Cornel West, but it was a good conversation with me. It was a good conversation with me saying what I was saying. I do not support Cornel. I do not support Cornel West. I think Cornel West is very smart. I think Cornel West could be
educated. He's an African American, Bukar. He's an African that's been Americanized.
Cornel West is Cornel West is smart. You're right. African American. That's what we are. African American. We ain't Black American. We African American. Are you an American African?
No, he's African American. He's an African that's been Americanized.
He's more along the line. Yeah, Cornel. Look how they put Cornel West, but he's along the line. He's more of a Angela Davis type of Panther. He's more of a Panther. He's more of a West Coast Panther. If you study him, that's really most of his ideas. That's where a lot of his ideas come from. I ain't gonna say because he was around that time, but yeah, he has some of the same ideas that they have, Cornel West. But I think Cornel West is smart. He's brilliant, and I also think he's being used. I really think he's being used to run for president. I really think he's being used, and they're gonna prop him up, and he know he ain't gonna win, but he gonna get up there and he gonna talk.
That's what I'm about to say, highly favored.
Yeah. Y'all know Eldridge Cleaver. Y'all know one of Eldridge Cleaver's greatest quotes, right?
What's that?
One of Eldridge Cleaver's greatest quotes. That's why I say I can give them credit for what they did, but then there's a lot of them you got to get away. One of Eldridge Cleaver's greatest quotes is when he hugged a Black woman, it's like he's hugging a slave. But when he hugs a white woman, he's hugging freedom, and he feel free, and he can't wait till the day where he can just wake up and be free. I think the Panthers that broke up when he made that quote, but yeah, he said that. Then ain't that's what he said, Bobby Wright? Bobby Wright in the chat. Am I wrong, Bobby Wright, about what Eldridge Cleaver said about that quote? You ain't never heard that quote, folk?
No, but I ain't gonna say. I mean, I believe it because you know what? Even the great Dessalines gave white bitches a pass. You know that? That's crazy. We
Oh,
all
but he
give.
wouldn't give no pass. He said that's when he feel freedom. He wouldn't just
Oh
give
yeah,
them.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He's great Dessalines. He's not the great Dessalines, but that's what I'm saying. I feel you.
And that's what but yeah, you know, so and that was the problem with that everybody thing with the Panthers. And I pull back a little bit because I do think I did pull back some of my banging on the Panthers because I do think they were young and they didn't know. How old was Huey P. Newton when they started the Panthers out in Oakland?
Yeah, I think they was teenagers or like early 20s. I
Yeah,
mean, and
so
it's credit for doing something, but this
yeah,
is a psychology that we have where you gonna give white bitches a pass. I don't know why, but
I'm
we
gonna
gonna
be
give
honest.
some white bitches passes.
Psychology where we give, I don't know what it is, man. And some people say we just such humanitarians. That's what Dr. John Henry Clark said. We see humanity in everybody, even though don't nobody see humanity in us. And Dr. John Henry Clark used to always say, that was one of our problems. That, but then if you is that who we are? I don't know because we don't see it in ourselves, right? We don't ever give ourselves that pass, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, I don't know how accurate that statement is because a sign of a human is to recognize your own humanity and
Yeah,
recognize that a healthy human has boundaries you don't allow somebody to cross. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
so I don't know.
And some of the things they say sound, I'll be honest, it sounds good in theory, but it would never work until we completely build ourselves up and we ain't just being used. Because right now, the only thing we are is bodies for everybody. And as soon as they get what they want, everybody discard the black bodies. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to start just standing for us, in all honesty. We got to make sure we're okay. That's what we got to do, make sure we're okay.
Yeah,
And
I'm just trying not to get y'all to stop passing down this love for the white girl gene. It's been thousands of years, so I can't necessarily blame it on us now, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know what it's gonna take to stop it, Bugari. So, but
uh, but yeah, but you know what? But I wanted to say something about some of my statements, let people know. But I guess they know the type of conversations we have. But I do what when I said about Cory Booker, when I read his plan, and he actually had his plan. He tried to get his plan passed through Congress. And I guess people should know, like, goddamn, it ain't enough of us. Now, all but 5 black people, all of them should have voted for Cory Booker's plan. I think 5 of them turned his plan down, vote for black farmers. It was some white people. I ain't gonna say a lot. It was some white people that okayed the plan. I don't think none of those other, because all this used to be online. But then when Raphael Warnock did his, they removed it. I got it on my channel somewhere. I can't even remember the name of it unless I deleted it, because I'm deleting some of my channels. But when Raphael Warnock rewrote it, it was able to get passed. I guess they didn't read the whole thing. And I appreciate that fact. So I give people credit for what they do, is all I'm saying. And when he said, when he put in there, everybody else get what left over. Dr. John Henry Clark said, if you want a friend, look in the mirror. If you see nothing you like, then you have no friend. That's his exact words, Dr. Bobby Wright. That's exactly what he said. Then you have no friends. That's exactly what he said. Exactly. We don't understand allies. We don't understand friends. We are supposed to be our first ally and our first friend. So, that's why I did the show I did today. Did 2 of them. One yesterday and that's why I did the other one today about the lies told on the civil rights movement and why it was started. I don't see how people today who's benefiting from what those people did turn around and don't have nothing good to say about none of them. It ain't even about I'm critiquing, because if you truly critiquing, you can sit and you can talk about the good that they did as well. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But to turn around and say the civil rights movement was about having white sex, that's absolutely disrespectful. That's absolutely disrespectful.
Yeah, most of the stuff was like even the Brown versus Board, you know what I'm saying? It was based off this one case where the brother didn't want his little girl walking like 3-4 miles to school, you know what I'm saying? And they was trying to get a bus for black children. And it was Thurgood Marshall who said it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, because a lot of that stuff was about, but I do think it's also lessons we can learn. Like the Birmingham bus boycott was extremely effective, but if only they like, and I think that we need to adopt this today, you know what I'm saying, that they wasn't just been a boycotting just to so the city will learn. We boycotting to in fact make our own bus line, you know what I'm saying, because they had enough money saved up, like where they could have put their finances together, but they was helping each other, you know what I'm saying. But the goal wasn't to create their own line, it was to make them you know what I'm saying. And I think that, you know, like the plan and the strategy, they had the heart and courage to go out there and do it. Now I'm just saying make slight adjustments, you know what I'm saying. Like our aim and mission is to have our own bus line, so we know that we can do it because they showed us the way, you know what I'm saying. And now we can learn, like, okay, well, now instead of this, we do it this way, and then maybe we'll get further along, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, like Bobby said, you know, because at the end of the day, we have no friends. Like, I understand if we could know how to use things as tools and weapons, but we really don't understand that, you know what I'm saying. And it's the fact that we don't see a friend when we look in the mirror right now, and it's only right now that I'm talking about, because at times we have, you know, but and it's that reason why we are in position that we in, you know what I'm saying. So like when we realize that, then we can easily do the bus boycott again, or whatever boycott we decide. Like no Target forever, you know what I'm saying. Target needs to be shut down. You just saw them white boys like shut down Target for the LBGQ stuff, you know what I'm saying. But instead of shutting down the people that harass us, we'll be like, oh yeah, let's support the white boys, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, go ahead.
Yep. You know something, right? Now this is something I learned, and it's something we all need to learn. And I always say, fortunately for me, by the people I was raised by, I learned things at a younger age. We have to learn dealing with other people. If you can get something from people, even your own people, it ain't about if you can trust them. It's about what we doing in the grassroots level. And if it's somebody up, even if it's somebody in position to help us, can we use them? It's not about trust, having absolute trust. It's not about making friends. It's about using them to get what we want. They used us all these years for a vote. Now it's about, let's use them to get what we want. Like I sent a video to Oni. I put it in I didn't just send it to Oni, I put it in a Telegram. Matter of fact, I'll send it to you, Forecast. You know how much you hear people talking about don't deal with certain things because it's boule, right? I know y'all done heard of the boule, right? So then, see, Steve Coakley was the boule. He the one, he's the first one. He the one I know was talking about it, right? So then I got this video where Steve Coakley even said, you know, when you deal with them, they ain't gonna be 100% brother. They might just be a 60% brother. But that 60% brother, you deal with that brother so you can get 59% out of it. Whatever it is you can get out of it, that's what you get from him. Don't turn it away completely. Use it to get what you need. And I say Steve, I'm saying Steve Coakley because a lot of people know who Steve Coakley is. But these are like one of the things I learned at a young age. But that's something that we need to understand. Getting what you need from somebody is not you befriending them. It's not you putting, you want something from me, give me this. This is what, you understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes. You know, that's how allies should work. Give me this or else, you know what I'm saying? On top of that, you know. And there's a difference from being friends, you know. And I'll say this because I meant to say this earlier, yo. When you said Cornel West is smart, I wouldn't even say that he's that smart. Like he is educated, and which is different from being smart. It means he's read a lot. He's been taught very well by their school system. You know what I'm saying? And you could be taught well and be smart at the same time. You could be knowledgeable and be smart. But I think he is educated. You know what I'm saying?
Cornel West smart, man. Listen to Cornel West. Cornel West smart, man.
I don't know, cause even back then, Sister Soldier used to get the best of him in conversations, you know, even though she was educated too. And I hate to put it, I'm not even gonna say that though. So I'm gonna leave.
The problem with Cornel West, he has a bit of a, if you listen to him, he has a bit of a ADOS FBA type of mentality.
No, I can't say that. He has
And I heard some of his where he talking about where he's sitting there, he's supposed to be talking about what this country, and he go to talking about how the slavery on the islands and in Jamaica wouldn't like here, so they don't understand us. See, they ain't like us. Yeah, I done heard him say stuff like that. I'm like, who want to argue about who had the worst slavery? What the hell? If I'm enslaved, all us got it damn worse. Shit. That's my take on it anyway. My slavery is tougher than your slavery. What the hell?
Yeah, yo, he might have said something like that too. Like, cause I wouldn't doubt he said something like that. You know what I'm saying? Cause slavery in Jamaica was definitely different, and it was different everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And
well, we were
and,
all
right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. You know, and like with Cornel West, like you know what I'm saying. And it's not that because I'm gonna get up off here in a second. It's not to make it about like you know or try to like down him or nothing like that. You know, but it's just that like when I say that he has the democratic kind of black person mindset, you know what I'm saying, where he would defend people like Bill Maher and all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying, like that he want to get on these shows and he got the white accepted thing. And I will say this too, Bakari, because like I can't necessarily 100% vouch for like you know what I'm saying the quote unquote boule, and I understand like the like what the like and there's a difference from like yo like it was a fraternity and organization and then like what people understand as the boule, but like a lot of that stuff has been surrounded by a lot of colorism, you know what I'm saying, wanting to be accepted. It's like no different than any other society. And you know, and especially if you are like a society that has like secrets and stuff like that to protect, like they're not, that means that like they're not black first because they haven't done anything to help black people, you know what I'm saying, as a whole, you know what I mean, like individuals, yeah, you know. And there's good brothers, like I point out the brother E. Franklin Frazier, who was supposed to be a part of the boule, but he also put together a lot of books about the black family and stuff like that, you know. And I think he was a black sociologist, and he was calling us out. He was calling them out, and they was like, why would you call us a boule out? He was like, if you're one of us. He was like, because we as black people in every role have to be responsible, because he talked about the family structure and how every part of society had to play his role, you know what I'm saying, like, and he recognized like if you're in a search, if you have a group that is doing certain, you have a certain responsibility, you know what I'm saying, and if you're not living up to that responsibility, you know, it's a problem, like, you know what I'm saying. So like, and that's no different with the NOI, who had an army who could have, and you have brothers like Malcolm X who was in the NOI who wanted to use that army, but at the same time, like the leads of the organization who told him no, you know what I'm saying, even though he could have made a difference with that army. And you know, I just see it that way, you know what I'm saying. She said, I seen him in person twice, and he is a clown. I do think he does some clown stuff, and he does a lot of explaining to like white folk. And Bakari, it's hard for me to call him like, I know he knows information, you know what I'm saying, but it's hard for me to be like smart. Smart is like when you put it together, and you don't got to be doing all that stuff.
Cornel West smart. But I'm gonna tell you something, right? When you just said that one dude from the boule did something, do you think he the only person that did something? Man, I'm gonna tell you that's why. And what I'm saying is right. Like when people say that, then when you think about it, most people really don't even know. And I just really start studying this because it's everywhere. Most people don't even know who's considered boule. You do know every secret society is not considered. Every black secret society is not considered boule, right?
Yeah, but Bakari,
did you know that?
Yeah, Bakari, but you know there have been people who have been considered boule. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what I'm saying,
I didn't say it because I wouldn't say Cornel West was one of them. You know what I'm saying? But I think he does that kind of stuff too.
Okay, what I'm telling you, people on social media and stuff will call them boule. There's only one that's considered boule, and they'll call themselves that. That's Sigma Pi Phi. That is the only one, and they'll consider that because they was the first fraternity, first black fraternity. They are the only one. Other people on social media call other things boule.
Bakari, no, I use that brother because I like, you know, he's a black sociologist that I was just talking about, you know what I'm saying? To show that is not just is like not all of them are there's good people, just like in the NOI. I use Malcolm X as an example. There are good brothers who's in the NOI, but as far as the organization, right? Like it's about like, you know, like I'll say like the Bible says it's about the fruit that you bear. And we can't act like, you know what I'm saying, there isn't colorism in all of our aspects, or that they're somehow different, but this white acceptance that's in, and I'm not limited to that, you know what I'm saying? But like, because I'm also going to talk about, you know what I'm saying, when we think that, you know, that
I don't worry
we
about
can be
that.
friends with other people too, you know.
But the thing is, though, like for me, I don't worry about that. I really don't. The thing is, what is it they have I can use? I don't even worry. See that other stuff? I'm saying me personally. I don't worry about that. Because if we say, oh, see, they colors, see, they this, see, then you'll never deal with your own people. What do they have I can use? What do they have I can use? What do they have the community can use?
No, but Bakari, because like that's the same thing. Like with NOI, brother, I wouldn't be like judge them because they a part of. But would you join the NOI? You know what I'm saying? Just because they have something that you could use, and it's good brothers who will help you, and there's some brothers who will ride for you. Like I've met some good NOI brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like I see they have businesses. They've done great things too. Like, but would you join them? You know what I'm saying? Like you
Okay,
can't just say that. You know.
Again, you actually back on. That's a religion, right? But if I could join it and it's gonna put me in position where I can get some connections and use to help my people, yes, I would. You asking me and I'm telling you, yes, I would. If I can use this and it's gonna put me in a position to help my people, yes, I would.
Right. Well, and I wouldn't judge you if you helping your people, but if you're not, then I would be like, well, you know, well, that's great for you, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's no different from every other organization. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially if like what I'm saying is if you have the resources and you're not, and there are people who are doing that. So I'm not saying whatever, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I'm not gonna be like, you know, like act like that's different from like any other group. I'm not saying that like whatever you should like if you join them or whatever or to make connections. My only problem would be that if they have some kind of rule that be like, oh well, you can't help like black people, you can only help whatchamacallit. And if I heard them be like, well, you got to be like this to get any help, I don't agree with that either. I think you should help with black people. I'm gonna show my critiques, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna critique it like what I don't like about it, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna say. Like
this is what I suggest people to do. If you know anybody in any of those organizations, I suggest people to start asking them questions.
They're not supposed to answer you though.
But see, that's the thing about it, because we go so much on social media, we think they ain't supposed to do stuff. They tell you way more stuff. They will tell you way more stuff than you know.
But Bakari, even you was telling me though, like it's like you have to know certain things, Bakari. Like
yes,
you know
yes, they have some things that's gonna be secret to them. And I'm gonna tell you something. Shit, we do need to know, but I'm just saying they might have a certain handshake. But it is certain things you have to know to let you know that you part of that organization. But no, I ain't talking about marrying outside of black highly favored. No. But what I'm saying is, forecast, it's a lot of things that we think is secret that if you know people in some of those organizations, you will find out that a lot of stuff we think secret is not secret. That's how I learn a lot of the stuff I know. When I talk to you and I can tell you this what this mean and this what that mean, I know because people in the organization just told me when I asked. It's a lot of stuff we think secret ain't secret.
Well, Bakari, you got to understand, right? Because I'm not as spooked out as other people, and I don't think there's much secrets that they can.
It sounds like you're a little spooked out about the
What I'm saying is, like, because I know the history, I know people, like the historic aspects of it and all of that stuff. But what I'm trying to tell you, just like I'm not spooked out by the NOI, I'm not gonna be like, oh, brother, I ain't cool with a brother because he in the NOI. Well, it's no different. What I'm saying is, like, if this organization has been around this long, right, and they're not doing the same, it's no different from every other thing that we're doing right now. Yeah, Bakari, like, I'm not gonna act like there's like, because I talk about every aspect. I talked about the white bitches, you know what I'm saying? Because are you gonna act like it ain't no weakness for the white bitches in the boule? Are you gonna tell me that?
I don't know nobody in the boule that got a white woman. I don't even know. I don't know nobody in the boule that got a white woman, for a cat.
Because I don't know. You said certain chapters you're not even supposed to mess with, because, or those the ones you stay away from, because they do be dealing with all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It might.
It is, Bakari. Like,
I don't know nobody that's.
Huh? Yo, you cut out. You cut out, Bakari. Right. I mean, I get what you're saying, Bakari, but like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm talking about the results that we have today, Bakari. We're not seeing a bunch of stuff like, that's the problem that we have as black people, is organizing ourselves. Like, even when these groups do that stuff, like, they keep it within their circles. You know what I'm saying? Like let's be like, not act like there isn't like elitism and all of these other kind of things in our community. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that every single brother is bad, or there is no people with good intentions, or that it wasn't started with good intentions. You know what I'm saying? But like, all right, I'll put the link, but I'm about to get off of here anyway, because we ain't even supposed to be talking about this. But I'll let you say everything you want to say and we close out and stuff. But all I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm just going by the results of everything that we built. Like, like they have the lunch program with the Panthers, you know what I'm saying? But do I agree with their mentality with certain things? No, you know what I'm saying? And it's okay for me to say that. But like, a lot of these groups do have like, and this is with black people in general, where the light-skinned women be kind of in the front, and you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real, man. I'm just saying, by result, it's a reason that our people is messed up, and it's not only them, Bakari, but I'm just saying. And this is not to bang on that, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand the history, and it's where we are today, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Now, if you could do that and get resources and bring it back and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all good, you know? I'm just saying we don't see enough examples of that, you know what I'm saying? All right, so Bakari, back up. It said device is not connected though, Bakari. And then I'm gonna let you say what you want to say, and then we're gonna close out. Yeah. Trump has painted black people in front row at his rallies. Yeah. All right, yo, Bakari, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, look, the point I'm making is right. I'm gonna tell you something. You said somebody like, I'm gonna tell you something. I hear y'all sound more colorist than them because they got the light-skinned women up front. They like light-skinned black women. Y'all sound, I'm just saying that's who we sound like sometimes. I even hear Dr. Umar. See, that's light-skinned supremacy. We sound the same people we talk about, right? We sound like we sound like them. We saying we're gonna be different, but we sound like them. But the only point that I'm making is, right, if we haven't truly talked to any of these people, we don't know exactly, we don't know what they're doing, and we don't understand, and we don't understand what they're doing because we get away from them because, oh, they boule. I'm not spooked out about the so-called boule. I'm just being honest. I'm not spooked out by that. And that somebody saying somebody is boule ain't gonna make me stop dealing with my people. In order, have I had problems with some people that was in a fraternity? If I say I haven't, I would be lying. But if I say I had good experiences with people in fraternities and I see what they're doing for black people, I would be telling it's the same. It's black people. But when we say, oh, they part of this, so I ain't gonna deal with them, that's shunning. That's, I'm gonna get away from this certain group of black people. And mainly it's because of things that we've heard from other people who's not even a part and who don't know because they heard somebody say something, who read a book, who heard somebody say something. And the only thing I'm saying is to truly understand, sometimes we got to deal with those people ourselves so we can talk to them and get an understanding. That's what I'm saying. And those people, part of certain organizations, so they do have connections. My homeboy tell me right now, this is what you want, this is what you don't want to do. If you're a Mason, this is what you want to do. You don't want to be in, if you go to this lodge and they have those people in there, get away, because those are the ones that is selling you out. But if you in this lodge and if you in this Prince Hall Lodge and ain't nobody in there but us, that's gonna be the Prince Hall Lodge you see looking out for the community. And the only reason I know these things because I ask, like I can walk up, I know how to ask somebody if they part of certain groups, certain organizations, because I just ask these people these questions. A lot of stuff is not as secret as we think it is. It's secret because we ain't asked nobody. That's why somebody could watch this. How could somebody give you lectures and teach you about something that's absolutely secret that they have not been a part of? So if it's absolutely secret and they can't tell you and they have never been a part of it, they wouldn't be able to teach you, right? Because I can't teach no secret. I can't teach nobody else secrets because I don't know them. And I'm not telling nobody to go join nothing. What I'm saying is we can shun people who might have some connections, who might be in position to do something. Some of them might help you, some of them might not. Just like in the black community, some of them gonna help you, some of them is not. That's all I'm saying. But when we shun the whole group and just say they're all boule, we done got rid of some people that might be good. Because now we spooked out by the boule. Whoever the hell they are. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, I'll say this, Bakari. I was gonna let you off the hook, but then you started talking about this light skin. Now, Bakari, like you know damn well, like you're supposed to be a Garvey. Like even Marcus Garvey got into it with a bunch of these societies because of that very thing. Not the other stuff, but Like, let's be real, Bakari. Like, a lot of people, and there's a reason they don't have the dark, because they may be light-skinned black women, but there's a reason why it's only the light-skinned black women that up front and not really the dark-skinned women. And I said that's not to separate them. That's just a mindset that we've been having, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then like with these groups, Bakari, like I keep trying to say, like, all right, so what organization is like helping to like get control over, like, name an industry, like, or let's name the boule, or like who is like contributing to, like, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know what I'm saying, to these schools. I'm pretty sure that there's some black people that is, you know what I'm saying, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not controlling anything as an industry and any group, you know what I'm saying? So like, just like I wouldn't throw away all NOI members. That's why I keep saying it, because Bakari, like, you might be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, but like if like, you know, just from, you know, from what I heard, you know what I'm saying, like, Bakari, like, for them, you have to be a part of the organization, you know what I'm saying, to like give certain connections and certain things with each other. Is that true or false?
It's true according to who you're dealing with. So it can be true and it can also be false.
So okay, so Bakari, so could you get the same connections without being part of it?
Yeah, I've had some connections where I don't live. Ask me to come to different states, but I don't live in Arkansas. So yes, here I haven't met anyone here. Well, I just met one, and they working on. Well, I've been knowing him for a while, and I really just found out that he had certain connections. But yes, it's according to who, and that's why I was telling you, they're like, if you deal with the ones at the Prince Hall, they just still stick, and ain't nothing in there but us. You're gonna meet the ones who got connections, and you'll meet some who got connections who willing to help you. But when you dealing with ones who have everybody, and that's what he was like, it's difference. That's what they were saying. Say it's a difference. And that's what and the point that I'm making is like when I said what Steve Coakley said, if you meet a brother and that brother is only 60% brother, try to get 59% from him. Get what you can. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So, and I talked about Prince Hall, and this a thing that I didn't want to say about the brothers then, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I think that a lot of black organizations, you know what I'm saying, realized they had to go build their own stuff, you know. And even back then, it was more so on mutual aid societies, you know. But I do think, like, and it's true that you have to be a part of the organization to be a part of certain connections. Yeah, they might they might even hire you at their jobs and stuff, but to meet the connect, and that's only smart to keep it in the circle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's wrong or nothing, but like my only thing would just be like, you know, it's like I think just like NOI is good things. I could use them, you know what I'm saying? But like there's a reason why you would join the organization, because like to get certain connections.
My homeboys will tell you it's wrong to just keep the stuff in the circle and don't help the black community. They'll tell you it's wrong. They don't agree with that. They say it's supposed to be the circle. They was like, if we got secrets and stuff that we do, we can keep that to ourselves. But everything we do is supposed to benefit not just us, it's supposed to benefit our people and benefit our communities.
Right.
But I'm just saying, we got a lot of people we talk about Christians and Muslims. We got a lot of people that spooked out about boule. We do.
Yeah, I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying like, because some people would be like, "Oh, I'm not working." That's why only reason I keep bringing up the NOI, because they'll be like the organization. But what I'm saying is, if they have like these much connections and they are doing this, like it should be tangible results that, like, just like with the NOI, they had farmland and all that stuff. But if you be like, was they doing it for black people, or it was black people, but they was in the NOI? You know what I'm saying? Like. And we see that as a result of what we have today, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the case, then like whoever's making the decisions, you know what I'm saying? If it works that way, you know what I'm saying? Then all I'm saying is like, they need to like whatever, you know, because there are some people who get into certain things and they would be black first. We just don't have, you know, how the Irish the mob and stuff like that. The Italians got to control so many industries because they had people who was like they was Irish and they went into these organizations and then they fixed numbers. They did all kinds of stuff to where they can have all kinds of power because they put their people in position. But our people that's in position, it seems like all around the board don't have the right mindset. And I'm saying that because when we look around at what we could do and like we still having the same conversations. What can we do about a kid who got shot in the back? And we just talking about just, you know what I'm saying, the same old thing, and we not doing nothing. Like,
but I don't put that on the organizations because they can't do everything in the Black community. Some things we gonna have to do. I'm just talking about connections. Some things we gonna have to do.
Yeah, they're a part of it though.
Okay, so now if they are part of the Black community when it comes to that, we can't decide when they when they should or when they shouldn't or how they should be if we don't want to deal with them. I'm just being honest. If we don't want to deal with people and talk to them and understand them, we can't tell them what they should or shouldn't do.
No, but I'm saying if we're talking to them and dealing with them, like that's the point, bro. Like if they're
we
not
don't talk to them
that.
for the most part. Black people just talk about them. They boule. They boule, they boule. They spooked out on boule. I don't see. You don't want to say that. They spooked out on boule.
Yeah, Bakari, but that's that don't give no pass. People are spooked out about the church too, but that don't give a church a pass for like collecting what they collect and not helping the ones who don't help the community because it's a small few that help. But those is not it's the same thing. It's no passes.
But you don't get my point though. What I said was if we don't deal with people, you can't hold them accountable for nothing. If we have already shunned these group of people because they are a part of this organization, we don't want to deal with them because they are this part, they are in these organizations. Why do they owe people something who don't want to deal with them? That's the point that I'm making. If we talk to our people more, I think that's just another way for us to stop dealing with each other. But if we talk to our people more, regardless, and try to deal with one another, then we hold them accountable. But if we don't want to deal with them, they boule, don't deal with them, they ain't gonna help us. So how are they responsible for people who won't even talk to them? Is the point that I'm making.
Bakari, like you said, like
how would they be responsible?
No, Bakari, because you keep saying like, yo, they're not talking to them because they have a history of doing these kind of things, even from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, see, and that's the thing. We only want to look where they did this bad.
No, but it continues to be just like the same thing with the NOI, bro. Like,
but what about the good history they did?
What is it?
Who you think was building the hospitals and stuff?
Right, it was a bunch of different mutual aid societies and Black communities together too. They wasn't all boule. They were working together.
Most of these people, that's what I'm saying. What is boule? And that's what we so spooked out. And
and different organizations. I said, and they're a particular organization who was like they started off as because I was like you said, even Prince Hall. I was just talking about Prince Hall and the Black History thing and how that whole stuff started. He wasn't even the first one who did it. You know what I'm saying? And these was brothers who had networks so they could link with each other from like Boston to Philly and all these other stuff. And they sent resources down to each other and together. You know what I'm saying? But like there has been a shift that you cannot ignore. You know what I'm saying? Like where, like what it is.
Okay, like this. You say the shift I can't ignore. You say they don't do nothing for the community. And the community don't talk to them.
I didn't say that, Bakari, because I went out the way to name good brothers who did stuff for the community. You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is right. But when we say, oh, well, they ain't doing nothing for the community, and the point that I'm making, and the community ain't talking to them. So obviously, it's been a shift both ways. So the point that I'm making is, in order to hold somebody accountable, to order to deal with people, to order to see if these people can help, is not to just say they boule and don't mess with them. Sometimes we gonna have to talk to our people. We gonna have to talk to our people.
Bakari, what I'm trying to tell you, Bakari, right? It's like it's not to condemn them, you know what I'm saying? But if you have an organization to been around for hundreds of years, I'm not gonna be like, yo, we we're not in control of anything right now. You know what I'm saying? What industry are the Boule in control of? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, man. I really don't get caught up in the Boule stuff, so I really don't know.
None, Bakari, none. Black people aren't in control of none.
Okay,
That's what I'm trying to say, Bakari. We
so
have got separated.
How are you putting it, just because you didn't say what industry?
It's just on
yes, you did, because the question that was asked was, you say, what industry do the Boule control? That was the question that was asked.
The black community don't have, and if they are in this organization where they do have all of these resources and connections, and black people as a whole is not doing good in any industry, then I'm like, I would look at them no different. Like, yo, like how I always be like, the NOI had a chance to have an army. I don't condemn everybody who was in the NOI and who continues to be in the NOI or say they're all bad people.
So let me ask you a question. So let me ask you a question. Do you know anybody that's in any of these organizations that consider Boule?
No, not personally, no.
Okay, so now this is why I tell people, if we talk to our folks, we'll know what they're doing. So you ask me to name something they're doing, because I know folks that's in this. I can tell you the groups and the organization and the people. Matter of fact, the next time they do a meeting on Facebook, I'll send it to you so you can see it. So you can see how many scholarships they have created for black kids to go to college or go to trade school. I can show you where the guy who once he got his position and he was over certain parts of the state of Mississippi, how every cleaning service that he gave contracts to control the state park was black-owned cleaning services, and none of these people was in the organization. There's more things that they have done. That's why I keep asking the question, do we talk to any of these people, or do we just listen to you? That's why I keep asking the question, and that's why I say, maybe if we talk to our people more, then we could see and we could understand, and then we could work together. But if we just look and say, well, they don't do this and they don't do this, of course, all of them not gonna be with us. That's just like all of black people. But if we talk to them, then you meet the good ones who do have the connections, who is doing things and who is doing things for the black community that we can use to our benefit. But if we don't talk to them and just keep saying they Boule and get away from them, we would never be able to use them. Is the point I'm making.
Right. And well, I understand why you're saying that, because I never said, get away, because that's why I named like several good brothers who was from the thing, Bakari. But I think it's certain things like with everything else, like that you would like defend, Bakari, because I mean, it goes back to even Marcus Garvey and W.E. Du Bois argument, who W.E. Du Bois was in the thing, you know what I'm saying, in their organizations. And like you said, yeah, there are good brothers who probably will do some good, you know what I'm saying, but the organization is like, let's be real, like, you know what I'm saying, especially has not become that, and then really never was a black, and I'm not expecting it to be a black only organization. And I never said that you need to condemn, just like I wouldn't condemn everybody who's a Christian or anything else, because I think black people need to put all their stuff, no matter their tribalism, to the side and work together, you know what I'm saying. But like, I'm not gonna say like that wasn't a history, just like there isn't everything else. Like, you trying to like act like there's no history, just like in everything else. Like, it's in all facets.
I never said there wasn't a history. There's a good and there's a bad history. But the only point I was making, because like I said, I was talking about YouTube, and I say what they say on YouTube, and the Boule has become one of these spook things of that black people say. And I always ask, do we know anybody that's in these organizations? Because see, I ask you, do you know somebody in the organization? The organization is not my focus. My focus is the people. If we focus on the organization, we're going to lose focus on what we need to do. We just focus on the people. Though the people I deal with just happen to be in an organization.
Well, I'm saying if they are for black people, then, you know what I'm saying, that's what's up on an individual basis, you know what I'm saying, not even on an organizational basis, because that's the point, Bakari, like, you know what I'm saying, if you deal with Pan-African it's on a personal basis. Just because, and Ben was saying, well, we give some people a pass, but he didn't name anybody who was a Pan-African, and they can get just as much intel off of you as anything else. That's why I was like, he'll get infiltrated mad easy, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother thing. But what I'm saying is like, with Black people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you deal with it on an individual basis. Even with having certain leaders, it's okay to be like, saying whatever. But like the organization itself, like, like that's why, like, what does it matter? Like, if this person was really about helping Black people, it shouldn't matter if you boule or not. You know what I'm saying? If you got money and you got resources to help and you willing to help, then that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they definitely need to be promoting the things that they're doing good. Then, like, if they have businesses that we need to know about, then they need to put it out there because we need to know about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not to say like they need to even talk about the negative stereotypes, but if they're doing good things, that they need to put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Because we need all the help that we can get. But unfortunately, like, we lacking, bro. Like, come on, like, we know most brothers is like, come on, man. We know we got a complex. There's a reason why I always talk about white bitches all the time, And I didn't even want to get on this topic, but it's still kind of fit.
Yeah. My thing is like that's why I say I don't worry about the organization. I worry about the people. And if it's the people, I don't care about the organization. People I rock with, they just happen to be part of an organization. That's why I told you, if I ever met some, if I told you I met some that was in that organization and was not assholes, I would absolutely be lying. Because I've met some that absolutely put their organization first. But I've met more that's using their organization to try to build and do some. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna give you another example. Now, this is like the best example, right? When I was talking about how Black folks stick together in the trucking industry, right? When I was out here in the dump truck, right? And when you get your CD, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna see. You're gonna meet a lot of brothers. That's Mason. You're gonna meet you some good ones that gonna put you on the game, and they're gonna give you, and that will give you a whole lot of loads and have you make money and run your own. But in that process, I met one. Remember the one I told you I used to ride with? He's one that want to keep you in a position where you're always under him. Where you understand what I'm saying? Where he's always top down, not trying to show you anything to get from under him. So what I did was I told one of my friends told me, say, ask him if he's part of this group. I asked him, and he said, yeah. He said, now wait a couple of days, then ask him how many white people in his lodge. No, he said, don't ask him like that. Bring it up in a way. And I was telling him what my homeboy said. Like, yeah, my homeboy told me, I'm finna become, so, this the lodge I need to be at. Because the ones with the white, them the ones sell you out. And he was like, oh, no, I ain't going to say that now. There's just some white ones in my lodge. And I told my homeboy, he was like, that's why he got that mindset where he above you. That's why he ain't going to ever. So if I tell you I met some that ain't, as he said, man, he going to keep that mindset where he think he above you. But he said, when you deal with the ones that's all Black, I'm being honest, it's completely different. Their mentality is different.
Let me ask you this, Bakari. Do they have like leadership in there? Like they have leaders?
Yeah, they have leadership.
Like, well, who is the leader in your area?
Oh, I'm not part of an organization yet.
But I'm saying like
I couldn't. Oh, well, I ain't never asked him who who would be, I guess, president or whatever the lodge, whatever they call it. I've never asked him that.
Do they have like a head leader?
Uh-huh.
Who is it?
I told you I don't know. I ain't never asked him. I don't ask them. Hey, look, they also tell me that too. They also tell me how far I should want to move. Man, I'm gonna just say it like this. it's not as secretive. It's not as secretive as
But that's
people
but I'm saying,
think.
like, how can you be like that? But like, you don't, like, people don't even know who their leaders are. Like, and I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. Black people should make, like, even if we had organizations, I
They
wouldn't
got
want
a
you to know
leader.
who our leader
They
is.
have a leader in their lodge. I'm just saying I haven't asked.
But don't they have like a national or like a head person? Like they would be like Farrakhan or something like that. Well, that'd be disrespectful to some people. Like Elijah Muhammad or something.
I don't know. I ain't never. I have never asked them that much because I'm talking to them and discussing for one particular reason, and they already know why. It ain't even about for me to know all that. I'm being honest. I don't care. I want to use it what it was originally meant for. If you catch my drift. That so all those other questions. I'm being honest. I don't know. I ain't never think. I want to use it what it was originally meant for.
Right, but I wouldn't join an organization. Like, I wouldn't even know what the person's like, who's the leader. Like, cause like, look, and this is like, I was also talking about Malcolm X. I just had to write about, you know what I'm saying, what happened to him, right? Like, he said that the chickens came home to roost and the dude kicked him out of the organization because he said that, and then have the organization turned against him because he was the messenger, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that certain people have this thing with like the Prince Hall, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I understand that he was a regular brother, you know what I'm saying? And let's be real, a lot of the brothers was trying to go to like the white churches and they got kicked out. And then they were like, yo, forget it. Let's make our own, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to do our own thing and we're going to help each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. They was just regular people. But I'm saying like even with the example of Elijah Muhammad, like he couldn't question his leader or he'd get kicked out the organization. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have joined that because after I seen that, I would have never joined that. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know nothing. Oh yeah, you talking about don't question the leader. Now that don't make sense to me. But this is another thing, right? Because I'm gonna tell you, I've been asked since I was about 21 years old to join this certain organization. Since I was like 21 years old, people have been asking me to join. Because I can really join any of them because I did 4 years in the military. That's something I found out later on. But I never wanted to be a part because I say, you know, that's a white organization. But as I talked to people, as I got older, and they even showed me some things, right? And this is my thing. Most of these secret society is ours. And they'll tell you that. They know it. They like, man, we ain't worried about these letters. When you read and you study what they teach you, and they said and showed me why. They tell us this come from Africa. So what's wrong with us taking our stuff back and using it for us? And that's I want to use it what it was originally meant for. Certain things I probably want. Like I said, I can call my homeboy and get an answer to anything that I want. I can go up here and see my other homeboy and get an answer. All them questions you just asked me. Who's the leader? Who's the head of the lodge? Who's the national leader? I can get all those answers.
Yeah, but, and I would also be like, do they like the 5% is like that?
But you know what they told me though? Want me to tell you what they did tell me?
What's that?
What you coming in for? Don't try to get too high. I was like, why? He said, man, just you don't want to go up no higher. He said, because when you came in for connections. It don't matter. As long as you in, you got the connections. You know, if you want, and I see what he do for his, and I see what they get together and do for their community in Arkansas, where one of my homeboys live. I see what they do because he showed me. And I've met them and I see what they came down here and helped people do. And it had nothing to do with the people from the organization was involved, but it had nothing to do. I just saw what they came and but he was like, man, how do they go up? Then you're going to start seeing a lot of ass kissing and people turn on each other. But he was like, man, if you just come in and use it for your community, he was like, man, anything I give them when we go to talking about the community, I ain't even trying to move up. But when I take it to them, they help. He said, because they have to. And he said, if that's what you want to use it for that. Don't worry about trying to move up and change. You know, he say N-word a lot. Woo, he said a whole lot. Don't worry about coming here trying to change no N-words, them ass kissers. He say, man, just use it what it's supposed to be used for. Just use the purpose of it. And that's all I'm saying. Just use it for its purpose.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? And I got a feeling that just like everybody else, it'd be like the 5%ers, you know, a part of the knowledge and wisdom is apparently teaching white bitches how to use a washcloth, you know.
No, not what they sending me. Not what they talking to me about.
Right,
No.
right. I was just messing with
Not, no, I know, but I'm just saying not them. But what I'm saying is it will be some, I met some like that, what you are talking about. But I also noticed them ain't the ones trying to do nothing for the community. Do they, you say industries? No, but I do see them putting people in positions with jobs. And like I said, my one dude I know, I saw him turn a man and wife cleaning service to where they had to get like 8 employees because he was just them the only people he gave his contracts to, nothing but black people. He called me and I was in Georgia. I just couldn't do it. I'm in Georgia. And nobody he hired was part of his organization. Nobody who he said, man, this is all you need. This is what you can do. Start your business. And me and him really don't even get along. But the point of the matter was that I'm black, and he said he know black people need help with their businesses. And me and him don't even get along like that. He just cool with my nephew. But I know that that's all he hired. That's all he gave opportunity to get out there and do what they were supposed to do was black cleaning services. State contracts, people making like $8,000 a week. And the only thing I'm saying, we spooked out about it. And sometimes we run away from good people. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And Bakari, and before you close out, I want to show something. Because I did bring up his name. And I seen the sister in your chat before. Tiffany89. I don't know if you know her.
Yeah, you know Tiffany.
I do.
She used to be Tiffany French.
Nah, I don't remember.
Man, she been on the panel. She came on the panel one time with us on there.
Oh, damn.
She came on. Yeah, you know Tiffany French. Yeah, she real cool.
Yeah. And she did a video about this brother here, E. Franklin Frazier, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I meant to watch it. You subscribe to her channel?
Well, yeah. Well, on my other thing, yeah. I be watching everything on my other one, but yeah. She be having putting educational stuff up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had used her video before, and she was talking about E. Franklin Frazier, and he was in it. That's why I wanted to use it. But I also wanted to see you a quote that he said, and I think that people should like read his books and like study who this brother is, because I think he was a good brother. But he did call it out, Bukhari. You know, he was like, and he was a part of it because of his struggle to gain acceptance by whites. The black bourgeoisie has failed to play the role of a responsible elite in the Negro community, and he was a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that this has failed each part of our society. Because, like, look, like if there are people who have businesses and stuff, you're supposed to be responsible, and I don't think that there are people in certain positions and we in our community, and we talk about some of them, but we got to clean up all of them. We got to get the non-responsible ones out of, you know what I'm saying, the places that they're in, so that we can bring in the responsible ones. Like, take back control. We talking about HBCUs, like you would consider go down there, but we have to go down there to take control of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. And we have this struggle to gain acceptance by whites, you know what I'm saying? It's infiltrated all parts of it, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's all I'm saying. Like, our next youth, our youth is probably our only hope, you know what I'm saying? So, like, even if they're in that position, they got to be responsible, you know what I'm saying? Like, even more so responsible than others, you know what I'm saying? So
and you're gonna find the ones that struggle to have acceptance by white people. But you know what? But that ain't just in this finish. But that ain't just the black so-called elite. especially back then. Is there a black elite? There's some black people with some money, but is there a black elite? I'm just saying they want to be. But what I'm saying is, right,
I think there was. I think they allowed themselves to get like we all have. Like we got this desire. You know what I'm saying? We let ourselves in trouble.
Exactly, and that's why I said it like that. So since we have that desire, all of us have that desire for whatever reason. Like Marcus Garvey and what's her name? Straight and calm lady. Help me, I got a brain for what's her name?
Maggie L. Walker, I think.
Yeah, Madam C.J. Walker.
C.J. Walker, I get him.
Her and Marcus Garvey had words about her.
Yeah.
Teaching black women something is wrong with their hair. But then I heard there's a Professor Issa. He explained that he was like, man, black women needed jobs. We ain't have enough businesses yet, even though UNIA was doing their thing. So they straightened their hair because they couldn't get a job. That's how he explained it, right? But even though they had words and Marcus Garvey didn't agree with what she was doing, she was still, she was donating to the UNIA.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know she was. No.
Yeah, she donated. Yeah, she's donated to. Yeah, she donated to the UNIA. Even though they had words, and even though they ain't agree on that, she still donated.
Yeah, that's what's up. But I think the problem, like because like with her daughter, like and how her daughter messed. Like if you study like her fortune, she left it to her daughter, and she kind of messed it up. And then she put a lot of that stuff into like the Harlem Renaissance, and not the whole thing, but like what was the poem part. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that kind of stuff. And her daughter was like kind of like I don't know. Like her daughter said a lot of. I ain't gonna say that because she not here no more. So, but
Can I ask you a question? Why is it some so-called black elites accepted and others not?
I don't think any of them are accepted. But
Yeah,
some of them think they are.
like when you said, I'm talking about by black people. I'm talking about by black people. I ain't talking about them. So let me clarify that.
Okay,
Let me quantify that question.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Why
I think
some of them accepted. Like when you go to the Harlem Renaissance, right? And you go to who was there? The Harlem Renaissance. Name some of those people, right?
The brother, I forgot the brother name.
I'm having a brain for it. That's why I asked you to name them. Then we got some people who our people love, who talk good, but they ain't really deal with us like that. Like the woman in the phenomenal woman who wrote that poem, Maya Angelou. Like,
yeah,
we would talk about certain people, then people like she can get a pass. When I asked somebody, what did she do?
Yo, didn't she have a white husband?
She had 3.
Oh, yeah.
She had 3. And that's what Dr. John Henry, not I ain't never really hear him bang on something saying. Dr. Yosef Ben Janakanan. I heard him bang on her though for that. I heard him bang on her for telling people how great black people is and how great black man is, but they ain't great enough. But she didn't meet now that was great enough for her to even date. Yeah, but like they would be accepted by us, right?
No, it's the same thing as Angela Davis.
In those people from the Harlem Renaissance, and study why when did the Harlem Renaissance start?
It started around it was before 1920, but just the 1920s.
Yeah, and then and I don't have my stuff no more. But then study the purpose of the Harlem Renaissance. Its real purpose, and see who put and see who took the Harlem Renaissance there. And you will see like it really wasn't put there for black people. Those people, because those were the kind of the elite. They supposed to be in the elite.
The bourgeois.
They were the poets. They were the poets, and they were all of that. Kind of like to take out any remnants left of the UNIA.
Yo, and remember at that time, right, yo, because this is one of the I think was one of the hardest generations that I liked. You know what I'm saying? They called themselves the new Negroes. You know what I'm saying? When they came back, a lot of them came back strapped up, and they was like, "Man, we ain't taking none of this no more." You know what I'm saying? Like they start having this, we the new Negroes. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like enough is enough kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And another reason that it was partly done the Harlem Renaissance, and I tell people this, they can study it. It also was to help stop some of the movement to Mound Bayou, Mississippi. If you study Mound Bayou, Mississippi, it was booming so much. Study and see how many people was leaving. Mound Bayou ain't never been no big city, of course, but it had the potential to grow to be a decent sized place. Look and see how many people from New York was leaving New York. Now, not just, I said Mound Bayou, Mississippi, because I saw a thing on them and they were talking about Mound Bayou, Mississippi. You understand what I'm saying? And they was talking about how a lot of people leaving New York going to Mound Bayou, but then they was talking about other places down south because people had started to leave to go to all black, you know what I'm saying? To go to just all black towns in community. You understand what I'm saying? And that's another reason it was about there too, to stop that. Not saying the people, not saying every person that was a part of the Harlem Renaissance was a part of that. But what I'm saying is some of the people that have funded their plan. You see what I'm saying? It's not always the people that's out there doing it. It's the people that funding them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you study that, yeah. That was.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, yo, that sister was one of the ones that was funding it, but she was doing some crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to speak disrespectful of her, so I'm not going, But yeah, she was one of the ones, Langston Hughes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Langston Hughes.
Yeah.
Wasn't he gay?
I don't know. But his
you ever heard that?
Nah.
You ain't never heard that?
No, I ain't never heard too many people just talk about like I ain't never heard that Langston Hughes debating or nothing like that. But nah, I ain't heard it. I just heard about, who he was and stuff like that. That's it.
I heard that. While it's unclear that he identified with no LGBTQ back then, some academics agree that there are gay undertones present. But I've heard that before. I heard I'm not knocking him or his poem. I'm not knocking his poems or anything. But I heard that. What's going on, St. Carl? And popped up here. What's going on, St. Carl?
Yeah, St. Carl. What up, my brother?
Hey, what's up, Forecast? Bakari. Just got home from work.
I'm keeping Forecast up all night.
Yeah, I was supposed to.
Because he got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work.
No, I'm good. It's like Saturday night for me.
That's like an hour.
Nah, yeah, it's like Saturday night for me. I'm good actually. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, he don't work tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like the weekend for me. I got to work this weekend, so I had time anyway. But I was supposed to be off here like an hour ago. But it's all good though. But what's going on, St. Carl?
Nothing. Just getting on the panel, just chilling out, just seeing what y'all talking about.
Oh well, we was about to wrap it up because I don't want to go back through that whole thing again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got him frustrated by the boule.
The boule again.
Yeah, Bakari making excuses. I don't know what's going on here.
I'm not making excuses. St. Carl, he said I'm making excuses because I say shit.
Them boule HBCUs, that's what y'all talking.
No, you just talking about the boule period. Use them. I say use.
They don't want to talk. I ain't even bring it up, St. Carl.
I'm just messing with.
I know St. Carl just messing with me, but I say use what you can get from them. Don't worry.
Yeah, I actually agree. I agree with you on that. I don't have a problem with it. it's one of those things where it depends on how you use it. It depends on your intention, just like anything else. I mean, if someone's a Mason and you can use that for bad or you can use it for good. It just depends. I think a lot of people use it for bad, but you don't have to. You could. There's been a lot of, like I was talking about, Black Wall Street. I mean, in a lot of our Harlem Renaissance and all, a lot of our prestigious cities, they were involved in, fraternal orders or whatever. So they can be used for good.
Do you
Yeah, I
think
don't have no problem with that.
do you think they have been used for good?
At times, well, let me put it this way. I think certain people have done good things that have been in those orders. Let's put it that way.
All right, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I like the way you said that. You said certain people have done things that's been in that order. Because I'm trying to school the young brother to learning. Don't worry about the organization. Let's just focus on the people who we
I
can
mean, most of
use.
our leaders were in something. I mean, when you really look at it. I mean, Garvey was moving like a lodge. I mean, really. I mean, I believe he was one. I mean, it just depends. A lot of people were in fraternal orders. I mean, it just depends on what you're doing. It don't necessarily mean that you got to do bad stuff. But yeah, but when you have any type of good old boy network like that, you have people that'll take advantage and exploit and stuff. It just depends.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Marcus Garvey made his own movement. He didn't be like, oh, let me go be a part of this other brother's movement
Right,
that
right.
may or may not be doing something, which don't look like they have been doing much. He's like, yo, let me go do my own thing. And Marcus Garvey did kind of call out a lot of those fraternities for what they were becoming at the time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And he called out W.E. Du Bois. Everybody know that famous argument, right? Because
Yep.
they had that light skin supremacy thing going on over there, where and it's a sneak way to get the white bitches in, Bakari. That's what you got to understand.
But I'm gonna tell you something, forecast. This is what I tell people. Look, now I learned this. Each one teach one. You can look it up for yourself. Some people say Garvey was a Mason. Some say he wouldn't. His wife say he wouldn't. But the people that helped him the most, who he was great friends with, were people that was Masons. Say he was even sometimes invited to the lodge. That's why I say not just that, because I got friends who I can talk to. That's why I say everything that we think is secret, it's not secret. We just don't talk to them.
Right.
Because we think it's so secret. But if we would have talked to these, you would see that a lot of this stuff is just social media stuff that's said about them. You would really see that. You would see, oh, this is just social media shit. Because it ain't like that at all.
Yeah, and I don't think that it's like, because I also think that a lot of people be on some, like, no offense, but like it's like the whole secret thing is like some old biblical kind of thing, you know what I'm saying, that ties back to some kind of religious kind of thing, you know what I'm saying. And there's no like I said, it's like my only thing would be, right, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not saying that it is, because like you said, it's some brothers, but like, let's be real, as organizations, and I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I am saying that it's wrong at the same time as far as Black people go, because we gotta release our tribal bounds to where we are not just focused on us and our group. And I have an awful suspicion that, like, you know what I'm saying, like certain people, you know what I'm saying, and especially in the higher ranks, got that we are the world kind of, let's make the world knowledgeable and spread the knowledge and wisdom, God, you know what I'm saying. Even the 5%ers got this knowledge, Bakari, because don't you know, in the sacred writings, you know what I'm saying, say thou shalt educate the white bitch so that we can do whatever, you know what I'm saying. And I'm saying, Bakari, like, a lot of this stuff is like, it got a lot of, like, even when you talk about the secrets, it got a lot of like that book, The Secret, is sort of like that, you know what I'm saying. There's no secret to anything.
Right. It's not really a secret, really. Yeah, and you can get Mason books and read all they're talking about is like, like when you deal with Buddhism or when you deal with Hinduism or when you deal with people that do yoga, they're just dealing with metaphysical science stuff like Kundalini stuff, your chakra. That's all they're talking about energy work. That's
Yeah.
all they really talking about.
And you know what?
It's no biggie.
And I'm gonna end it right there for you, so you don't even have to join, bro. Like y'all, I'm gonna stop saying we doomed, because after I said we was doomed, you know what I'm saying, everybody started saying we doomed. So I'm not gonna say it no more. You know what I'm
Why'd you say we were doomed?
Well, I was messing around, but because of black people's mentality, bro, like the way that we're sick, you know what I'm saying?
Something's gonna have to change, though. I mean, if something don't change soon,
That's why I was it's a joke now, but it ain't funny no more.
we're not. I mean, we'll be all right. It's just we do our. See, that's the thing with us. We're at our best when we're against a wall. In crisis, that's where we unfortunately at crisis. That's when we show out as a people. Unfortunately, we're just comfortable.
You know what? Forecast say we doomed. And like we say,
no, I don't say that.
Forecast. Let me finish.
I don't. I'm not gonna let you say that. I don't
say we doomed. But you cut me off. You don't even know what I'm gonna say.
No, you can say the rest, but I'm just saying I take it back. I don't even want you to put that on my energy.
But forecast be messing with us, right? But forecast be messing with us, right? Saying we doomed. But then there's some brothers come on the panel that believe that wholeheartedly.
That's why I ain't saying it no more.
Now forecast scared to even play with it. Oh, he's scared to even play with it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So you don't have to join no secret organization to figure that out. That's what they talk about. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about how successful we are. So then, but you know what? Y'all ain't gonna copy that, are y'all? You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Bukhari, it's all good, man. If you want to, you know what I'm saying, let the white bitches in on your time, then if that's what y'all want to do over there in those lodges, then so be it. Y'all want to have white girls over and yacht parties and at the lodge, then so be it.
Yep, they're welcome. We're gonna party hard too. Shit. If that's what you want to say, if that's what you want to spread on here, I'm gonna help you spread it. But you ain't talking. But I'm just saying, forecast for real. If you meet some, talk to some, just see what they're. Because the only thing I can say is,
how I'm gonna know if they one of them? They won't say nothing. They be quiet. That's what I'm saying. They do be quiet.
That ain't true.
Most
of them wear their stuff. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They wear it like what? So I gotta look for what I gotta look for. What is it they wear?
It's according to what they wear. Especially Masons don't nobody wear their stuff more than them. They have Masonic jewelry they wear. The necklace, the chain, the emblems all over the car.
Mm-hmm. It's religious, Bukhari. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's a religion, Bukhari. It goes back to Muslim or Christianity or one of them. You know what I'm saying? It's a religion, Bukhari.
They'll tell you it's not, though. Like if you were to tell a Mason that, they'll be like, "Yeah."
I know they would. So with a lot of things, but
Masons will also tell you. But Masons will also tell you where it comes from, though.
But that's why they call it secrets. It's like they call the word scriptures. It's no different. You know what I'm saying?
But how is it a secret if I can call?
How is it a scripture?
I can call homeboys right now, and they'll just sit here. And you can ask them questions, and they'll tell you.
But that's what I'm saying, Bukhari. Like that's like the word scriptures. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
But if they'll tell me, and I'm not a part, how is it a secret though? Is what I'm saying.
How is it scriptures if I can write some down and it be just as real? You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is okay, but it's not a secret for Cam. I'm gonna tell you something.
I never said it was. I'm saying like that's why they call it that, because it's like
but like other people call it that. That's what I'm saying. If you talk, right? Oh, you know what? I can't wait till you finally meet them and watch how they laugh.
Yeah.
No, Bukhari, I'm talking about. People call it that because
I'm saying that people call it that, but they don't really call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, neither do Muslims, but they are, you know what I'm saying? Like neither do a lot of stuff. Like flat earth people are religious. All of this stuff comes from religion.
Would you say a secret? No, actually it comes from Mason. They'll tell you that too. That come from ancient Egypt, man, and those fraternities.
So does
That's what it was
Christianity
started at.
according to some. So does a lot of religions according to most people. Bukari, it's a religion.
I see what you're saying, Forecast. I see what you say, but I don't know. I don't know if I would classify it as a religion, but I see what you're saying. It's.
I'm telling you, watch. I bet you some.
They act
believe
like
in
it's a
Allah.
religion, though.
They go believe in. I put money. They believe in Allah, Jesus, something. You know what I'm saying? One of them. I'm
Because they
telling
can
you.
all. Because you can be in different religions. You can be an atheist. You can, and still be part of the group.
And be a part of the group. Yes.
It's a religion, yo. I'm telling you. All that stuff is like, yo.
Forecast. You spooked out by Boule, dude. So you gonna keep thinking of something to keep
No,
you away
I
from
ain't
your
just talking
people.
about the Boule.
You spooked out, Forecast. You spooked out. You spooked out, Forecast. When you hear these people, next time you hear somebody on YouTube giving you this information, you should ask them the question: have they ever been a part of it? And see what they say.
All right, Bukari. I'm telling you, it's a damn religion, Bukari.
Because I ain't never been a part. I can only tell you what they'll tell me, and I can only tell you they say, man, it ain't no secret. What else you want to know?
Right. I'm not saying that.
You told me. You asked me how to let you know. You said how to ask them if you see that symbol.
Yeah. What's that symbol?
When you see the Mason symbol, want me to tell you what you can say?
What? No, I'm saying, what is the symbol?
You don't know what the Mason symbol is?
No, what is it?
It's a G inside of, what is that? A triangle, upside down triangle, and one on top.
Okay,
Something
yeah,
like
I know
that.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The compass.
Yeah, the compass. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With a G in the middle. Walk up and say, "Are you a traveling man?"
Right.
Or say, "Can a widow's son get some help? I'm starving. I'm craving."
Car, they might. No, I ain't even gonna say that. Let me stop.
But like Sankara said, anything I just told you can really go find a book and you can read it in a book. All this stuff is in them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's spooked out. I'm just saying, Bukari, I'm talking about the realistic nature of Black people right now, Bukari.
You spooked out, Forecast. You spooked out.
I'm spooked out. That's why I won't even joke about we doomed no more, because that's how spooked out I am. Because I think that, like, that's the purpose, or I'm trying to tell you, Bukari. Like, all of these groups is no different than the rest, like the things that we've been doing so far. I'm not saying that it ain't individuals who's trying to do some good, Bukari, but it's no, like, we're in a position right now where, like, we see the results of what all of these groups is doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that sounds good.
Don't worry about the group though. Watch this, right? If you come to Atlanta, are you gonna worry about Atlanta, or are you gonna worry about the people in Atlanta you can link up with?
Bukari,
which one you gonna worry about? Which one is more important?
I'm gonna come down there for the people.
Which one is more important, the city of Atlanta or the people in Atlanta? Which one would be more important, the city of Atlanta or the Black people in Atlanta?
Bukari, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, in the position that we in, right? I would come down to Atlanta, but I'd be worried about my surroundings of Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what goes down in Georgia, so I ain't gonna be just caught slipping either.
You didn't answer the question. I said which one is gonna be important to you though? The city of Atlanta or the Black people? The Black people is important.
The people is important, but guess what? If you go down to Georgia, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand, like, what goes down in Georgia, do you not? You got to understand how things happen, right? Just like if I go down to Florida, I better beware of the crocodiles or the alligators that's on the side of the road. I'm down there for the people, but I got to worry about the alligators on the side of the road.
So, you worry about the people. So it's the same thing with, don't worry about the organization. Just find the people you can deal with. That's all I did anyway. I just want to deal with the people I can deal with, and it just so happened I actually have friends who I've been friends with more than 20 years. Shit, matter of fact, man, we've been friends since MEPS. We met. My one homeboy, we met in damn May 13, 1993 is when we met. That's how long we've been friends. And it just so happened I know some people that's in some of those organizations, and I ask questions because shit, I'm curious, and they'll tell me, and I'm like, ain't this a secret? And they like, nope. But I know no, this ain't no secret. What you need, what you want to know?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Bakari. That's what I'm saying. I don't even want to keep going in on this, you know what I'm saying? Because
just remember, forecast, don't care where you meet some of our people. We got a lot of them that gonna do the Herschel Walker two-step.
I know that, Bakari. That's what I'm trying to let you know.
Whether they're in that organization or not.
Just like, yo, you can go, there's good people in the church, right? But I could still be like, damn, well, the church, we shouldn't keep giving money if they're not going to give back to the community. I could say that. Am I condemning all people in the church? No, you know what I'm saying? I could talk about the curriculum. Does that condemn all Black people who teach it? No, like, but this needs to be a change in the curriculum. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a pattern that keep happening, especially since back in the days, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because I think that's where it happened, you know what I'm saying, because that wasn't always the case. But you know, the brown paper bag test was in around that time, the 1900s, you know what I'm saying. That stuff started happening around that time too, you know. Like, what I'm saying is, like, Black people, like, you know, that it don't have to be the boule to be like, yo, well, as soon as I get money, I'm moving out to this white community, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if that has infiltrated, it's just like everything else, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not gonna give them a pass or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? And they do supposed to represent the educated class, because there's a college fraternity. They're an educated class, supposed to be an educated class of people, you know what I'm saying? But that don't mean nothing. Just like Cornell West is educated, but I wouldn't necessarily call them smart.
But that's not what they're supposed to represent, though.
That's what they are, though. They are an educated class of people who are supposed to be in
why y'all got a problem with people being educated, man?
No, they're supposed to be educated, but they're supposed to be educated the right way. And like if you're an educated class of people, that means you are the ones who are going to like be the manufacturer of our jobs and of our industry. And you have a lot of responsibility. You're gonna be if the educated class is supposed to make our curriculums, and they're supposed to do all of these other things, you know what I'm saying? So if our educated class is infiltrated or compromised somehow, then that's a lot of trouble, you know what I'm saying? So like, yo, it's a good thing that they're educated. It's a bad thing of which education they've gotten, you know what I'm saying? As people that we've gotten, you know what I'm saying? I think that our enemy has successfully infiltrated a lot of stuff. That's all I'm saying. And I think that we should be more aware of, you know what I'm saying, of the history of, you know what I'm saying, of how to protect ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the people that's willing to work, just like I can go to the churches, you know what I'm saying? It's good brothers who are preachers. I got family members who are preachers, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that, you know what I'm saying, like, it's okay. I can work with them. I can work with good brothers who was in the NOI. If a brother is a boule and a Mason or whatever it is, because boule and Mason is two different things. I don't even have the conversation about Masons, but if that brother is helping me do what I got to do for my community, you know what I'm saying? Like,
why would they be different? Why would they be different? What's the difference?
Well, Mason, I think that's two different organizations, right?
They're just all just fraternities.
Yeah, it's two different fraternities. It's two different things, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like if you have any two different Pan-African groups, they're Pan-Africans, but they're different groups. I'm saying, like, I just meant that they're different organizations, because I don't want to be like Masons.
Because it's only one organization that's really is boule, though. You can look it up and you'll see which organization is considered boule. And we just use that word loosely. There's only one organization that's considered boule.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to say, like, because I know that them and Masons are two different things, you know what I'm saying? It's two different organizations, two different rules, two different traditions, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though they might have similarities, it's two different things. And the boule is the oldest organization. Like, if you study, like, if you just go back through Black history, like, Black people wasn't accepted into white people fraternities, so they made their own. Like, we wasn't accepted into their workforces, so they made their own, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of that, you know. And that's why I say, like, even the church thing predates you know what I'm saying, the fraternities, you know what I'm saying, because they had the mutual aid societies before that, you know what I'm saying, but it's still the same thing, you know. But yeah, but it's different though. Mutual aid societies is different, but it's still the same thing.
You know, they were started by Masons.
What's that?
The mutual aid societies, all them societies back then. Even your look up your black abolitionists, you'll see what they were part of.
Yeah.
You'll see what they were a part of.
You talking about Richard Allen and them?
Yeah, look them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they was going to like white churches, but then they got racism in white churches, so they made their own churches. You know what I'm saying? And I understand this, but like even then though, Bakari, like one thing that's not talked about is how sometimes it was elitism in the black community during those times, and they helped certain people in certain communities. Not all of them. Like I wouldn't say Richard Allen and all of them. Or, well, you know, they helped a lot of people, but there was in Massachusetts, like the Black Free Society would kind of look down on the Black Slave Society, and
you know where that came from?
What's that?
That didn't even come from a fraternity. You know where that came from?
What's that?
That came from God, he done left the chat now. He knowing this. That's why I kept telling everybody to watch that documentary on this slave, this Muslim guy that was enslaved, and he was enslaved in Natchez, Mississippi. And when some people said he was a Moor, that's why, and he ended up going up north. I'm different. We different than that. Literally, that's what that came from. It didn't even come from a fraternity. That came from just somebody who got his freedom by saying that he was a Moor, and it was time to go back, and they was going to send him to Morocco. He had to tell the truth because he would have been enslaved in Morocco. But that's where that come from. We're different than them. That came from, he had been over here at that time when he got his freedom. I think he was in his 40s, and he had been enslaved since he was like 19 years old. He was a prince. He was a prince from I want us. Oh, Lord have mercy. And I'm having a brain freeze, and I'm going to remember all this tomorrow. He was a prince in modern day, well, in Mali, from a tribe in Mali, and he was a Muslim. But that's where that come from. And he ended up being a slave because he always thought he was different. And he was attacking the people who he felt was less than them, giving them the Europeans. And they set a trap for those Muslim slaves, and they ain't even want no money. They just gave them away because the people there, they just went ahead and said, look, y'all got to go. They killed some and then put some enslaved. But that's where that came from. When he got his freedom, that didn't come from, that really didn't come from any of the secret societies. That came from him.
Yeah, no, no, go ahead.
I just can't think of his name right now. I wish Bobby E. Wright was in there.
Yeah, but
actually, I told you to do a show on him one time. You should, because it's a great documentary. I'm gonna get his name, and you should look him up. You should do a great. You should do a show on it. The name of the documentary is The Prince of Slaves. Yeah. Look that up, and you'll get his name and study. It's great, and I'm gonna tell you, from way back then in the 1700s, you can see, if you watch that, you can see we still talking about and doing some of the same stuff from the 1700s to 2023.
Yeah, yo, like, yeah, I agree with, like, I'm saying, like, yo, that predates even the mutual aid societies, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it's the same one, but I think it's the Akwamu tribe, right? They was selling other black people, you know what I'm saying? They was one of the few until their prince and their king and all that stuff got captured. And then they had a rebellion and they were successful. But the problem is they wanted to enslave other black people. You know what I'm saying? It's the Akwamu rebellion.
Now this is a different one right here. I know what you're talking about. This guy here that now this is a different one. Because what they didn't, and this is something I learned from watching this documentary, that black people in Africa has started posting up and moving closer to the shore. And at one point, European ships couldn't make it to shore. People couldn't get off because some people had been captured and enslaved, and African warriors, before they would get off the ship, they would start attacking the ships. And those Muslims, those African Muslims who had been enslaved by the Arabs, that same guy who was scared to go to Morocco because he knew he was going to be a slave, him and his people, they were the biggest, strongest, richest, most powerful tribe over there in Mali. Just chose to start attacking the black warriors, selling them to white people. Like literally, they started attacking them from behind as these people would attack ships. And he said he was different. But I promise you, man, that thing is so interesting. If you watch it, that's the name of it, The Prince of Slaves. And you will see, like, it's 2023 and we still talking about some of the same stuff from 1780 in 2023. Same discussions, bro. Same discussions.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be trying to play some of them that we have, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that has been a common thing and that's why I'm trying to say, like, Bakari, that has been there since the inception of all of these foundations, you know what I'm saying, of these institutions that we had is always been tainted by some form of trying to be accepted, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's limited to them. I'm just saying they're not excluded from it, you know what I'm saying? And
oh man, I got to go let my dog in. It's starting to storm out here, man. Let me get off here. You finna get off? You gonna be on it for a minute?
Yeah, I was about to let y'all close out.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Peace. Thank you for letting me speak. Sankara, I'm gonna hit you in the morning, man. I'm gonna hit you tomorrow.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, man. So we can talk. All right. Hey, forecast, man. Hey, you got to go to work in the morning, right? You lucky it started storming, man. I would have kept you up all night, even though I got to be up in a few hours myself, ready for work. I would have still kept you up.
Nah, I'm good actually tomorrow. That's why I only stayed on here. You know what I'm saying? Talking about some boule. You making a bunch of excuses.
No, they got you shook. Y'all spooked out. That boule. Y'all spooked out. Y'all spooked out.
Marcus Garvey spoke against the boule, bro.
The boule got y'all, man. The boule got y'all. He may have said something about it, but not like, they boule, don't do that. They boule. They got y'all shook, man.
I can't remember the letter. The boule is like one fraternal. It's like 5.
Sigma Pi Phi. Sigma Pi
Oh, is that
Phi.
what it is? Okay,
it's the first black fraternity that was created.
The Sigmas, yeah, damn it, coming down. Let me go get my little dog, man. My daughter dog. All right.
Yeah, it was the it was the first black fraternity created. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what Bakari is saying, but what I am saying is, like, man, things have been corrupted somehow, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that all people is bad or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? But listen, like it is what it is, man. We done with the symbolism and it's time for the tangible stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's time to stop debating about it, because it'll be easy to be like, look, they've done this for the community, they've done that. Like, we ain't getting behind it, you know what I'm saying? Like, the tangible things, like not just the symbol of like being able to represent something, because like I said, Prince Hall was a regular black man like everybody else, you know what I'm saying? All these people is regular people. But but you want to say something though, I'm saying, Carl?
No, I mean, I think that we just need to do, like, kind of what you're saying. We need to do things different than what we've done in the past. I think those organizations do have a lot of corruption, and I don't think it. I mean, we look at our condition; something ain't working, so we need to try something else.
Yeah, get rid of the brown paper bag test they created. No, I'm joking. Bakari ain't had to defend it. I know the Bakari would have defended them to the death. But no, I'm joking. But yeah, I appreciate you for coming on here though, Sankar. You know what I'm saying? You got a channel, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just Sankar Patrice Bishop. That's the name of it.
All right, yeah, y'all subscribe to Sinkara, Bakari, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to Considera, you know, because she's out there doing stuff, you know what I'm saying? My brother Bobby, I'm glad my brother Bobby was in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Bobby, shouts out to Erica, Raw, Koku. This went a lot longer than I was supposed to, because I ain't even planning on talking about the boule. It ain't had nothing to do with what we was talking about, but you know, it's all right. It's cool because it's a part of symbolism and surrealism versus the tangiblism. You know what I'm saying? So I
What about the
appreciate
sister that was doing the languages? She's still around?
Tanzan.
Yeah, Tanzania.
She hasn't. Haven't seen her on for a while. I hope she's doing all right. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't seen her on for a while. She may be traveling or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully she all right though.
Yeah. Probably need to check on her.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, and shouts out to all of y'all, and shouts out to Tanzan too, by the way. But all right, so I'm gonna let Malcolm X have the last words because we were supposed to be out of here an hour and a half ago, but it's all good. So Malcolm X get the last words for today.
You're supposed to see him for exactly what he is. And if you want to know what he is, examine his deeds. Forget his words. He got a whole lot of pretty sounding words. Watch his deeds. His deeds are like the deeds of a snake, the deeds of a serpent, the deeds of a dragon, the deeds of a reptile, the deeds of a beast. Why, nothing but a race of beasts would take dogs and stick them on little black babies. Nothing but a race of beasts will stick dogs on black children and black women. Nothing but a race of beasts. And it is these deeds today that's causing the wrath of God to come down upon the head of the white man. And when you see him as he is and see how much hell he's catching, you're out of his mind to want to be with him. You're out of your mind to want to integrate with him. And you're really out of your mind if you take time to forgive him and ask God to have mercy on him. No, ask God to judge him. Ask God to do unto him as he has done unto you.
Yeah, facts, Malcolm X. But as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.